Wait, and the North Korean people have to fucking pay for like a shitty cut, like rip of 480p Arsenal's Netflix, or not Netflix, Amazon Prime documentary. Like they're paying for like a 480p rip of like a shitty, like not a shitty documentary, but like a shitty version of a documentary.
That this North Korean company could have bought the license to sell this content.
Why doesn't somebody do something about this? Yeah, Zach, why doesn't Amazon fucking sue North Korea for fucking copyright infringement?
There are literally sanctions on US companies like Amazon for collaborating with them. There's games too, tons of them, but I just want to show you this football game for a second. It opens with, bizarrely, the same logo that we just saw on the Amazon Prime show, so it seems like this is some sort of large-scale media redistribution brand who's taking international content and making it North Korea compliant. Then we see the boot-up screen, with the game's title being International Soccer League 2.0, which is just so
Is this just FIFA Mobile? Is this just a rip of FIFA Mobile? They like change all the players to like North Koreans though. It's like messy, but they just like change it. Like everybody's just reskinned just like fully. Like it's just every team's just only North Korean citizens.
interesting because this shot of Messi's face, I reverse image searched it, is not from International Soccer League 2.0, but instead a screen grab from a trailer of Japanese-made Pro Evolution Soccer. The other thing that I think is absolutely fascinating about this football game is the Asian players are missing. Like, you can select the team.
I was joking. I was fully joking. There's no way they got rid of all the Asian people if they weren't North Korean.
Team, Tottenham Hotspur, with all the correct roster as of 2022 when the game was launched.
But they're missing all the Asian people.
But with the only South Korean member of that team, Son Heung-min, not present. They just chopped him. Again, presumably to not show North Koreans that South Koreans have proper international...
Oh my god, bro, because no. Yo, they had to do that. Because if you were playing this game as a North Korean citizen, you'd be like, wait, this guy's on a fucking UK professional soccer team, and he's from fucking South Korea?
Athletic careers. In fact, just the general situation with apps in North Korea is so different to what you and I are used to. The first thing that jumps out is there's just so many of them. Like, have you ever seen this?
I low-key feel like this phone emits radiation, but like not like ionizing radiation. Like this, I feel like this phone, like if you slept next to it, would probably cause some health problems.
This many apps pre-installed on a smartphone. This right here is a medicine app, but a medicine app where you can order whatever you might need for home delivery. There's maps with navigation too, although fascinatingly, it doesn't show a clear dividing line between North and South Korea, and also doesn't let you zoom any further out than the country itself. It's a little bit more advanced.
Bro, you can't see the fuck. Do you think they have a globe? Do you think they have a globe? Do you think they teach? Bro, we've seen so many documentaries about North Korea. I don't think I've ever actually asked that or, like, looked into that. Do they know what, like, the continents look like?
Than I was expecting in
They have to. They have to.
some ways too.
The Earth's flat? I don't think they think the Earth's flat because there's no religion. There's no religion, and that's where, like, it kind of got phased out. There would be no reason for them to say the Earth's flat.
Like, there's a store here where you can buy things like
And there are genuine fucking scientists in North Korea. Like, dude, there's people working on, like, military high-grade, like, physics-based shit.
smartwatches and
So they know the Earth's round.
TVs, all using an electronic wallet, and it's part of the intranet. It's also on this phone, really surprising to see, if we look past the logo that is very clearly just an NBC ripoff. This is...
It's so weird, though, that they're just, like, choosing random logos to just kind of rip for different apps.
online gambling, with even the option
Huh? North Korea has gambling?
of the intranet. It's also on this phone, really surprising to see, if we look past the logo that is very clearly just an NBC ripoff. This is online gambling, with even the option for sports betting, as well as just
What fucking sport are you gonna bet on? North Korean sports?
a pretty hefty catalog of video content that you can download.
Oh my god, how much are you gonna bet that shit's fucking rigged to the gills? Oh my god. Betting on a fucking North Korean football match, and you fucking throw like $5,000 on some shit, they're like, just lose. Just lose. I go, okay.
Onto the phones. But you can also see that the North Korean government's influence permeates every layer of this. Even the types of movies available. I couldn't find one from the US or South Korea, but Russian movies? loads of them. Remember, the criteria here is not which movies does the North Korean population like the most, it's which movies does the regime want the population to watch. And so it makes sense that it's all filled with Russian content, since Russia is one of North Korea's closest political allies. And Russian ideologies line up very closely to North Korean ones. There's also, weirdly...
Yeah, but it's Russian ideologies, but it's not just Russian film. What's that one movie where they use real bullets that was a Russian film that we watched? Come and see. I'm telling you right now, the North Korean people do not have access to Come and See. That's like an anti-war like movie about how horrible it is for people, and it ruins lives, families, and fucking everything. Yeah, no shot in hell they'd have that.
A bunch
They have access to Russian films that are pre-approved.
of Indian movies, including ones that I've seen before, like Three Idiots. The link between North Korea and India isn't as clear-cut, but the guys from Daily NK have a theory that Indian culture hits a bit of a sweet spot. It's kind of different enough to seem exotic and interesting to North Koreans,
but they won't want it.
but while still not posing a threat to their culture
Yeah, it's not gonna make them want to change their own culture.
in the way that Western content does. And then there's just a whole load of apps that feel not just guided by the government, but directly requested by them. Like this one is entirely biographies of past and current North Korean rulers. Something else I've never seen before is a general guidance app, which is split into 4 categories: laws, regulations, a legal dictionary, and then common sense, which really is exactly what it sounds
You imagine you're doing some sketchy shit on your fucking North Korean iPhone, and like out of nowhere you just get a fucking phone call and it's just Kim Jong-un's face. It's like John Pork, but worse.
like. It's so strange. It's like
way worse.
how should we legally understand the family? Who are relatives? Can't relatives marry? I wonder if the idea is giving
Wait, what?
legally understand really is exactly what it sounds like. It's so strange. It's like, how should we legally understand the family? Who are relatives? Can't relatives marry? I wonder if the idea is giving every single person the same set of ideologies and learnings, and even there's like a humor section here, so that they
Yeah, it says something about same-sex marriage. I'm assuming North Korea doesn't like gay people.
effectively become the same person, to squash individuality. There's even a cooking app which guides you through how to make traditional North Korean cuisine. And all of these more official looking apps, they open by first showing you a famous quote from one of their leaders, which so feels like something you'd see on the loading screen of a dystopian video game, but this is real life. And then there's also just a ton of games to play.
Oh my god, ton of games to play. This shit looks like it was made by ChatGPT yesterday. That looked like some shit I would have played in like 2008.
Most of them feel pretty simple, with a big emphasis on offline play, which is true for the whole phone experience. It's actually wild how much we've been able to show and do, and that's all no doubt because the internet situation in North Korea is so sketchy. So crazy amount of stuff on both of these phones. But there's a very good reason for that. See, getting new apps is not as easy for North Koreans as it is for us. They have an app store. You can download apps on your own, but, and I can't actually quite wrap my head around how this is the reality, you can't open those apps until you've taken your phone to an in-person store where they will authorize them for use and download the necessary back-end data for them to function. And believe it or not,
what? So if you want to download an app to use it, you have to basically redo like a background check at like a physical fucking phone store for them to like give you access to play fucking Flappy Bird.
there's an extra wrinkle that comes with this. Your apps in North Korea expire. So this one here is telling me it's right.
Oh my god, you have to get renewed access to use an app. Oh my god. Do you have to pay? Is that money?
Run out, and is basically asking if I want to pay for 6 months or for 12 months for a bit of a discount. Effectively making
Oh my god! Don't let EA get their hands on this. Don't let EA get their fucking hands on this. North Korea's charging people to use an app. They have a paid subscription service for like a fucking free thing. Like just a regular app you would use on your phone.
free app, a paid subscription, even ones you would not expect to be, like the laws of North Korea. Bearing in mind, North Korea is one of the poorest countries in the world, with its national income per person being just 3.4% of that of South Korea.
Then how are they buying phones? This has to be solely restricted towards like the top 5% of North Koreans. Like I could see the average not the average North Korean. I could see like a middle like not middle class. I want to say the median North Korean individual by income having like a pager where they have like a phone that like is so restricted. It's basically just like a flip phone where they can call like 4 people. And it's like how they talk to their boss or like if the government needs to send them a message or something. Like I could see that, but I feel like this is just no one has this.
Concept of being able to sustain a large library of apps is a luxury that very few will be able to afford. And that's assuming you...
Oh my God, imagine you have to pay to use settings. Sorry, your settings subscription expired. You have to pay us $40 to use the settings app.
You can even afford the phone.
But we already uninstalled it because you didn't pay for it. So now you need to go in person to get settings reinstalled. You didn't pay to use the App Store, so you can't download apps. You need to pay us to be able to use the app to apps to get the App Store. Well, here's the real conundrum. The App Store app got deleted off your phone. So even if you did go in person, you wouldn't be able to reinstall it because they can't re-download the App Store. You just should have paid for it. So your phone's basically a brick. You're going to need to buy a new one.
Did find a way to sideload your apps without going to a physical store for that authorization, or if you found a way to get around the app expiration system, which we realized...
Do you think you have any North Korean viewers? No. We're 16 minutes into this video, and you just asked whether or not... You think they have YouTube?
As you could temporarily do just by changing the date on your phone to an earlier one. There's a very important reason...
Wait, you could jailbreak the phone, huh?
That's assuming you can even afford the phone in the first place. Now, even if you did find a way to sideload your apps without going to a physical store for that authorization, or if you found a way to get around the app expiration system, which we realize you could temporarily do just by changing the date on your phone to an earlier one, there's a very important reason why...
I would be fucking mortified to do that as a North Korean citizen. My God. No, I'm fucking following the rule book by the fucking book, dude. Oh my God. You have a North Korean iPhone, you're like, oh, they want me to pay to reuse this. What if I just change it back a year and redo my subscription? You just hear your phone just starts going, I'd chuck it in a river.
Why you might not want to try that in North Korea. And it's called Red Flag. Red Flag is an underlying layer of surveillance software that appears on all phones sold in North Korea. We know it exists because we can see the effects of it, and I'm told older versions used to be really easy to see and get around, but in these newer phones, Red Flag is now baked into the lowest level of the Android software, making it almost untraceable and impenetrable. Plus, it blocks off developer settings, which you can normally unlock by tapping this build number several times, meaning that it stops you figuring out what is really going on behind the scenes. But the idea of Red Flag is to persistently make sure that what you're doing on your phone is legitimate. So every file, every app, every photo that you take has a digital signature, a record that signals to the phone
you
where...
start fucking snapping pictures of your butthole, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. There's just one guy at a big fucking he's at like a fucking huge monitor screen in North Korea, just like monitoring everybody's phones. He's just like, dude, what's this one guy doing?
That file originated from.
Holy fuck.
Red Flag makes sure that
they like come flag you down. You're like, dude, I don't know. I thought I had like an abscess or something.
the only files or apps that can be opened on these phones are either ones with the North Korean government signature or a self-signature, which is files that originate from the phone itself, like photos from your camera. Anything else originating from anyone else won't have an approved signature, and so will not open. It'll just get automatically deleted by the software when it's sent to one of these phones. Now,
oh, so you're not in trouble, it'll just remove it.
that doesn't seem to have stopped people from trying to get unauthorized content to work. There was an extensive report from Martin Williams and Niklaus Scheiss, which goes into how some would try to skirt the system by opening foreign files via the phone's web browser. But now that the signature checks are happening on a deeper device level, it can pick those up. It doesn't work. Or there was a Daily NK report last year that mentioned while North Koreans couldn't store outside videos on their phones, they could insert SD cards containing the material into their phones instead. However, there is one final, very sinister surveillance feature, clearly designed to deter any attempts at this. These devices, both of them, will take periodic screenshots as you're using them. You don't
I thought that was the red flag thing. What the fuck? Am I stupid? That's what I thought he was just talking about. Like that it was just showing times and you couldn't click on it. Isn't that what it is?
see these screenshots being taken in the same way that you'd expect to. But you know it's happening because I can actually show you the folder where they're being stored. I can see this has actually been taking screenshots today while I've been recording this video. The frequency of the shots seems to vary, but it's many times per day. And the most alarming part.
Yeah, that is very... Do you think it's on a random timer or what? Because it was like an hour and a half, like a day. Oh, wait, no. I'm looking at it backwards. Wait, am I? I feel like this isn't organized. It looks like it could take it every like 10 minutes or every 5 hours.
Many times per day. And the most alarming part of it is all you can do is look. You can't click on them. You can't check them. You can't delete them. Now, whether the phones are sending those grabs over the intranet to the government continuously, or if they're just used when an official has doubts about you and wants to specifically confirm their suspicions, it's anyone's guess. But would you want to risk it in North Korea? Based on accounts from people who've escaped, this is a country which, since at least 2020, has had a law that spells out distributing and even just watching South Korean entertainment is punishable by death. People who distribute...
Bro, watching Squid Games, it would give you would get the death penalty. Watching Squid Games, they would kill you. Like, that is a crime that not like you're a serial killer that murdered fucking 15 people. No, sorry, you watched an anime. Now you die, and your family's getting thrown in a camp.
This content are tried alongside drug criminals. It's considered the same tier of crime, which says a lot about the priorities of the regime. So it really feels like every part of these devices, from the words you're allowed to type to the videos you're allowed to watch, are designed to reinforce a single narrative. North Korea is superior, foreign influence is dangerous, and everything you do is being watched. It makes me very grateful for how easy tech is made for the rest of us.
Is this an ad? It's an ad. Yo, I was gonna say, that's wild, though, that they're charging $1,000 still. Like, they're charging the price of an iPhone for something that does 1/30th of what an iPhone does. Anyways, that was a fun video to watch. Next.
After 33 years of service, quickly resigned, and both parties issued an apology to the city.
I mean, at that point, bro, just like fucking a gas station bathroom. Like, that's, like, it's not romantic. You got a fucking beach lounger pillow laid out.
It's becoming more difficult to be at a storage unit when nature calls. Bathrooms are now private use, and this has left some tenants to leave their shit elsewhere. At one facility, workers were alerted by a bucket found in the middle of an aisle.
Just filled with poop.
When they found it, they witnessed that it was filled to the brim with human feces.
That was the picture? That wasn't the real photo. That's not poop. Looks like dirt.
Filled to the brim with human feces. Filled.
But then they have to be pushing it down. Like, you would have to mat it down at some point. Or do you think the poop just eventually, like, finds its place? You know? Like, it just, like, mushes down over time. And that's not the real photo? Is it weird to say that I want to see the photo? An entire 5-gallon bucket full of poop?
And it is believed that the person shit there on purpose. They're making a statement, dude. At an outdoor facility, a property manager hopped on his golf cart to patrol the grounds when he found a t-shirt discarded outside a unit. He reached down and tossed the shirt into the back of his cart, only to be hit by a spray of cold diarrhea.
What?
Wait, what?
Only to be hit by a spray of cold diarrhea.
What?
What do you mean hit by a cold spray of diarrhea? Like, it smelled like it was diarrhea? Like it was covered in, like, poop?
Someone had used the shirt as toilet paper and covered it in feces. So everyone that's watching...
And he picked it up and didn't notice until he got back in the golf cart? It would immediately reek.
This video's clicked off, right?
Yeah, at this point.
They're gone. I'm talking to no one now. Online, multiple people have come together to tell their stories of how people will simply poop in trash cans or next to fire hydrants, like a dog. Another manager complained to having to deal with a serial pooper who stalked the grounds at night and pooped on buildings and the streets. Goddamn serial shitter's back. You think he like shows up there, like the sheriff's like looking at it? What is it? He's just like, I know who that's from. It curves to the left.
I recognize the poop swell. There's corn in there. It's one of his favorite foods. He always has it's always a darker hue, a little closer to black than brown. Either he has a colon disease or some sort of disorder, or he's just a big fan of hearty, fibrous fruits like blueberries.
His tenants are regularly found passed out or injured near their units. The owner of a storage facility was alerted to a specific unit after smelling smoke in the hallway. Smoked himself out. When they opened the door, they found the owner on the ground unconscious and a jerry-rigged kitchen cooking food. Got a big old like pork chop in there.
He had a full-blown smoker in his storage unit. He just gassed himself out of the storage unit.
Nothing I love more than cooking a pork chop in my storage unit. The renter had set up a hibachi grill. What? He was practicing? The renter had set up a hibachi grill and covered himself in the grill with a blanket to mask the smell, but asphyxiated himself with the smoke and fumes. What a dipshit. He's doing that thing. He's like, dude, I'm doing that onion ring volcano. He's like, that's awesome. Just blacks out immediately. A similar situation occurred during what the owners referred to as a dead body walk, when one of them discovered a customer passed out drunk in the middle of the aisle. The owner was drawn to the man when he found a...
Why are we renting storage units to people that are doing this? I feel like you would get the vibe that that's the type of guy to fall asleep in a storage unit just drunk. Like somebody shows up, yeah, I need a unit, man. He's like already hammered. I'd be like, no.
Long extension cord that spanned nearly the entire building. When he found the drunk, he passed out with a beer in one hand and the other down his pants. In front of him sat a TV and a VCR that was playing pornography. What a king.
Wait, so he was fucking jerking himself off with the bottle?
Brought an extension cord over, he was plugged it in, he was beating his dick off, getting drunk. He's like, ugh. How do you wake, even if no one found him, how do you wake up from that?
Yeah. What am I doing?
Why do I keep doing this? The VHS has popped out because it, like, you know, it stops, it rewinds, and it pops out. And he's sitting there, he's like, pushes back in, round two. Takes his onions. Covers himself in a blanket. The police were called, and the sound of
out again, just asphyxiation.
sirens woke the man up, giving him just enough time to hide to one of the empty units. He had previously been given keys to all the vacant units in the facility after helping the manager move some things.
What?
Oh, now
Why was he given keys to empty units? Because he helped them clean? She would pay him something for doing so? So she just let him have access to the fucking units? Why would you ever do that with a random guy?
the facility after helping the manager move some things.
What?
Oh, now he's the key master too. You helped me move a box, so here's every key to every unit. The same man had been seen just a few days earlier naked and unconscious in front of a different unit, but no action was taken. Damn, dude. That's a minotaur. That's a labyrinth I would not want to walk into. Can you imagine like sitting there and you grab your stuff?
I'd be scared. I don't know. I'd run away probably.
If I saw a naked passed out guy, yeah. Well, I'd probably call 911 because like, hey, there's a dead naked guy. After the police left, he emerged from the hiding and confronted the owner for calling them, only to be kicked off the property for living inside the unit. I like how he had the audacity to be like, dude, really? Or you're gonna call the cops? Cool, man. I thought we were cool. He has like a giant keyring. Does this mean nothing to you? I'm never helping move your Hot Wheels again.
Does this mean nothing to you? You remember when I helped you wipe down that one unit that was like full of poop? Definitely not me, by the way. Definitely not me. That I know the unit was like broken into and everything. Definitely not me. I helped you, and then you gave me the keys, and so like I get a little drunk, put a VHS tape in, and you know like drink Modelo's and maybe have a rhino pill or two. I mean, it's my unit. Is this not my property? At least for the small amount of time that I own it. I have the keys for these other units. I would say it's my humble abode. I could even maybe have squatters' rights for all I know.
Man. Hot Wheels, Matchbox cars, not doing it, dude. NASCAR, I'm not doing none of it. Not moving the cars anymore, man. In another unit, a tenant was evicted after the manager discovered bloody handprints and smears stretching from the front to the back of the unit. According to the manager, the space was packed to the ceiling, forcing the tenant to climb over her belongings to reach items in the back. In the process, she would cut her wrist and body on exposed roofing and metal walls, leaving streaks of blood behind.
You're just getting fucking tetanus. Rusty wires and ceiling shit that's just falling around, dude. Oh my God. Storage unit full to the brim, no walking space. You're just climbing over stuff, just cutting yourself with like old antiques.
Crawled out. I completely understand though. Am I gonna take everything out? Just crawl over it. Yeah, I got cut up a bit, but I'll be okay. I wonder what if she died in there? It's like a saw trap trying to get to your Furbies in the back. Back in 2008, an obese 60-year-old woman. Why are you looking at me? Back in 2008, an obese 60-year-old woman came into the front office to pay her bill when she tripped and had the front door pin her to the floor. What does that even mean? How did it pin her to the floor?
I'm guessing she like tripped and the door broke and then.
Staff rushed over to help her up. She was screaming and hollering in pain. The general manager was the first to reach her, freeing her leg from the door. Once free, she was dragged further into the lobby and rolled onto her back like a manatee. She tried to get up on her own, but she was so large that her gut prevented her from sitting up. Preach. Staff described her situation as rolling around on her back like a turtle and could not get up. That's a quote.
They couldn't fucking like pick her up by her arms and hoist her up. She was just permanently stuck on the ground. What do they have to get, like a gurney?
That's a legitimate quote. Rolling on her back like a turtle. I thought they're just watching her.
Like she's rolling back and forth, bro, like helpless. Just asking for somebody, yo, somebody please help me up. I literally can't, and they're just.
And they're just looking at her like, let's just wait for her to die. Eventually, the manager pulled her up off the ground, and staff were checking her over to make sure that she was all right when they noticed that she had pissed herself during the fall and soiled her pink sweatpants.
Oh my God.
You fell down, you got pinned, I'm gonna piss myself. All right? That's not even an act of rebellion, that's just the facts. After she was deemed okay, she paid her rent, but moved out about a month later. Because why, how embarrassing is that? Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking.
Yeah, I mean, that would suck, man. It's funny that, like, you know, the situation unfolded in the way that it did, but being the person that, you know, basically falls over, the storage unit falls on your leg and you piss yourself and then you can't get up. It's like, now you're going to feel like you're being judged the entire time you're there.
There are numerous bizarre and horrific renter crimes. Tenants and managers don't always see eye to eye, but that doesn't mean they can't get along. Eric Adams worked at the 1 in 5 mini storage near Portland, Oregon for 15 years and was liked by most of the tenants. After about 5 days without hearing from Eric, a friend drove to check on him. He opened his storage unit and found Eric dead on the floor. Police determined that the cause of death was blunt force trauma from items found in his own unit. Suspicion grew when none of Eric's valuables were taken, suggesting it wasn't a robbery. His death would remain a mystery for a year until
So it was just a straight up murder?
Police gained access to the keypad records and found that one tenant was at the facility during Eric's final moments. Rob Caputa had entered the facility around the same time that Eric did, but after an hour, only one left. He was a long-term tenant at his unit since 2019, averaging about 55 items per month. But after Eric's last...
What do you mean 55 items a month? He had been at the business often. He showed up to the storage unit 55 times a month? What the fuck do you have at your storage unit that you're showing up over almost twice a day? You're going to the storage unit more than people go to the gym.
He avoided facility for 3 weeks.
See, now he would have had to keep coming back around. That makes him seem sketchy. You're going there every day. You're a fucking regular at the old storage unit. You know people by name, and then you just disappear.
Not good, Rob. Suspicious activity, Robert. Rob was eventually arrested after DNA was found on Eric's body and was sentenced to 3.5 years in jail. That seems short. In court,
seems very short.
It was revealed that Rob killed Eric after someone ran over his dog at the storage facility, and he blamed Eric for its death. He fucking John Wicked him. He doesn't know if it's Eric. He's just like, you have to die.
You got 3.5 years for first-degree murder? He ran over my dog. Well, no, he didn't run over your dog. Your dog just got ran over.
Another man in North Carolina was locked in his unit for days without food or water by his girlfriend.
Women, man.
That's also unsafe. I feel like storage units should kind of be like refrigerators in that, like, you should be able to get out regardless. Or like aren't most car trunks like built in with hatches to where you're able to escape even if you're stuck inside? Like that's scary that you could lock yourself in a storage unit and not be able to get out. Well, you couldn't lock yourself in. Somebody could lock you in.
In 2024, police responded to a call at the Cooper storage compound from a man who claimed that he was locked.
But how would they have a safety mechanism for that? Because the latch is always, the security lock's always on the outside. There would have to be like a side door that's just a one-way.
Inside his girlfriend's storage unit. When they opened the door, they found Gary Oxidine, weak and emaciated, on the floor. He had been surviving in the unit for days with no supplies until he found his phone in complete darkness and called for help.
It took him 4 days to find.
Yeah, that is a little crazy. It took him 4 days to find his phone. Previously accused his girlfriend of locking him in a storage unit for days and now saying the charges were a mistake.
Days with no supplies.
What do you mean saying the charges are a mistake?
Until he found his phone in complete darkness and called for help.
It took him 4 days to find. What?
I wonder if on the last day he's just like, I really should look for my phone, actually. I'm not gonna die here. After his rescue, his girlfriend, Robin Deaton, was arrested and charged with attempting murder and kidnapping. However, after the charges went public, Gary spoke to the media and claimed that the accusations were bogus. He said he had simply fallen asleep in the unit and his girlfriend had locked it without realizing he was inside.
How do you, you're the significant other and you showed up to the unit together. What? That'd be like me and Brooke going to a storage unit. I fall asleep and she locks me inside. And she's like, I don't know where Joe went. I didn't see him. What? How do you not notice it's a storage unit, not a fucking mansion?
This was in complete contrast to what he said in the 911 call, where he claimed his girlfriend was trying to kill him. When the case went to court, the charges were dropped after Gary had admitted to lying, and the couple was able to walk free. I'm telling you, that is some diabolical.
That is some crazy relationship shit. I don't understand how I understand he drops the charges because he doesn't want her to get in trouble, but like, how do you even argue that she didn't mean to do that?
If you think padlocks are going to keep your stuff safe, then you're mistaken, because break-ins happen all the time at storage facilities. A traveling nurse in Colorado had,
yeah, it's fucking sheet metal holding your stuff in place. They could just fucking break through it.
$80,000 worth of stuff stolen over an 8-day period from Extra Space Storage.
Or just bring a fucking, what is it called, a bolt cutter.
She lost furniture, medical equipment, family heirlooms, and even her engagement ring. Police respond.
Why do you have your engagement ring in a storage locker? I'm gonna have it. I feel bad that she had her shit stolen. Why the fuck do you have your engagement ring in a storage unit? Why is that not in your room?
To the break-ins and added her case to the long list of 55 previous incidents reported at the facility that year. Since the incidents were reported, no other break-ins have occurred as the facility upgraded security. Oh, did you? With what money? $80,000 worth of stuff is what I think. That's what I'd be suspicious of too. People that work there, they see you bringing in stuff. What is this? Oh, just like my grandpa's baseball card collection.
I mean, look at the guy.
Dude, just my grandpa's like Pokemon collection. He just has like, dude, it's a bunch of these cards just in this like wooden box. They're all like sealed and shit. It's like, there's this Pokemon called Charizard. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna like leave it here. I don't really want it, but I don't want to throw out my grandpa's stuff. One
of the victims claimed the thieves stole most of the audio equipment, including TVs, car stereos, and mixing boards. Police wonder how the criminals were able to pull off the heist because although units are indoors, have a code at the front door, and they are equipped with cameras everywhere. California appears to be a hotspot for criminal storage activity. Just a couple hundred miles south of the last break-in, Steve Bohannon and his nephew purchased an abandoned locker for $80 at auction and were excited to flip whatever was inside. They were greeted with a bunch of boxes that read, "Danger, poisonous."
They didn't see that when they were fucking bidding on it. I always think that's weird that you're not even allowed to walk into the storage unit. You just have to stand outside of it and kind of like guess, and then they just bid on it.
What is that, Uncle? After opening them up, they discovered that every single box...
Oh, it's a closed locker? That's even crazier. You're just betting what it is off like on a whim.
They discovered that every single box inside the container was filled with meth, beakers, and safety equipment. Thank God. Steve,
do they get refunded by the storage? Do they get refunded by the storage like company? If you bid like fucking $500 on a storage unit and it's just all full of meth, toxic shit, I would be annoyed as fuck. I would be like, give me my money back. Because now I'm not profiting anything. Because you're not going to be able to sell it. It's all going to be closed by the police because now they're going to have to investigate who owned this, what else is in it. Even all the stuff that isn't meth is now probably valueless because it's going to be fucking criminal evidence.
Report his discovery, and they arrived in full hazmat gear to safely remove all the drugs and the equipment. But just want to say, this is not me actually saying it, but don't get an extra storage thing. Extra storage seems like a scam. That's not me saying it. Disclaimer, I'm not really saying that, but extra storage seems like a bad place to keep your stuff. I wouldn't do.
Extra storage, the place where they rob your fucking wedding ring off of you, and when you actually bid on a unit, there's just meth lab shit in it.
It might just be best to keep all your stuff at home and not risk enduring the horrors of modern-day storage facilities. Between unruly guests and incompetent managers, you never know what you're gonna get. And if you're not careful, you might just lose everything. However, if you need to rent a storage unit, make sure to do your research. And if you're choosing to live in one, Godspeed.
If you live in a
I mean, don't live in a storage unit. I think if you're gonna live in a storage unit, don't post it on TikTok. Here's my storage house, doing a little review. We're going to be live streaming here on Mondays and Thursdays. So if you want to see, you know, here's the front of the storage unit. You know, if you want to call the owner and let him know that I'm squatting here, that would be awesome. Like, what the fuck? So, I don't know. That was an interesting video. It took us forever because we had to keep pausing for chat. But, yeah. Count me down 30 seconds. Then we're going to hop. Testing North Korea's illegal smartphones. I'm gonna be real, before we even started, I didn't know they had, like, their own brand of smartphone. Just because I assumed the majority of individuals in North Korea didn't own phones. Because the government control would probably it would be really hard to restrict that. But I'm assuming the people in poverty in North Korea don't own phones. I'm assuming it's people that live in, like, Pyongyang, like, somewhere where it's, I guess, more populated / like, you're allowed to have more luxuries, you know, because you live in the capital.
These are two extremely rare phones from North Korea, and it's kind of insane that I'm even holding them. The North Korean
Why is one of them in English?
The North Korean population is so cut off from the outside world that it's almost impossible to even get a text message out, let alone two fully functional smuggled phones that show us in crystal clear detail what it's actually
Oh my god, does the map only show North Korea?
like to be a North Korean citizen. So this is the Heian 701. It's one of the country's budget phones. Just to give you an idea of how little is known about this stuff, you can Google the phone's name and nothing will come up. Absolutely zero. And then the second is the Samtaesung 8, which is a flag
Samtaesung? Samtaesung? Really? Really, that's the North Korean phone, Samtaesung 8?
North Korean phone. And yeah, this is different to South Korea's Samsung, which translates to 3 stars. This is Samtaesung, which translates to 3 huge stars.
I mean, we're really trying to one up South Korea here on the fucking phone usage. That's cringe. That's what they name that shit. 3 stars versus 3 huge stars.
A lot of this whole my dad could totally beat up your dad energy. But that's because convincing North Koreans that they are superior to South Koreans, that they are morally purer and militarily stronger, is about the most effective way of keeping them loyal to the government. And it's pretty clear when you look at these phones that the smartphone is playing a big part in that. I can actually
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, it definitely plays a part in the brainwashing, but I don't understand how, like, yes, even if you're grown into the North Korean society, kind of like believing how they function and also kind of like living it for generations, if you had a smartphone that's like clearly restricting you, I feel like you'd be like, what are they trying to hide from us? Or do you think it's like they just perceive it as a protection? Like, oh, Kim Jong-un's trying to protect me from bad Western ideologies. Or maybe they don't even realize that it's like being censored or like restricted. Maybe that's like what they perceive just the phone is able to do.
These phones. So if I write Namhan, this means South Korea. The second that I hit the spacebar, that gets auto-corrected to puppet state. It is bonkers seeing censorship this explicit happening in real time in front of my eyes. You physically cannot send the word Namhan even if you try, which shows just how committed North Korea's government is to sustaining its narrative that South Korea is this inferior, less individual country that just blindly follows whatever the US asks them to. Other ways of wording it, like Republic of Korea, that doesn't even get corrected. That just turns straight into asterisks. Kind of like you're a child and you just tried to make your Club Penguin username a swear word. And you can actually see the censorship becoming more invasive as time is going on. Because if we use this Heian phone, which came a few months before, this one lets you write North Korea as North Korea. But the Samtaesung doesn't even let you do that.
Oh my god, so it used to be less restricted and then they realized that they needed to make it even more strict, so they had to fucking come out with a, like, even worse version
Only way that you're allowed to refer to North Korea now is Joseon, the traditional.
I mean, bro, and I'm assuming there's like heavy monitoring on these phones, no? I feel like we watched something about a North Korean like it might have been a phone where it like takes an image of your screen every 10 seconds or something. And there's like a guy monitoring it in case something happens where they have to be like, oh, what are you talking shit about Kim Jong-un?
And then South Korea, almost as if they're belonging to them, as South Joseon. But it gets worse, because Daily NK News, the guys who actually secured these phones in the first place, and whose basement I'm sitting in right now, they've probed around and found all sorts of extra oddities in the software. Like how, if you type Kim Jong-un, the name of the current leader, into any app, it will make the text bold the second you finish the word. Or how all sorts of South Korean slang is just subtly corrected to the more proper North Korean approved way of saying the same thing. Presumably because a lot of this slang originates in some capacity from South Korean media. And the North doesn't want their population.
Yeah, but then how the hell, if they're getting a lot of that slang from South Korean media, how would the North Korean people even have their hands on that slang or media to even be able to use it in their phones in the first place? If, like, internet access is restricted, whatever they see on TV is restricted, they're only allowed to see what is shown to them, then how the fuck, like, why do they even have that gateway of the slang if they don't even know what it is? That'd be like having an autocorrect for, like, Big Chungus if you don't know what Big Chungus is. Like, it's unneeded. Like, you're never gonna type it.
To even indirectly experience that. But probably the single craziest example of this is if we type oppa. This is a common South Korean expression that can be used to mean either older brother or in slang terms, boyfriend.
이거 좀 따주세요, 오빠.
Which in itself does raise a few questions. On these North Korean phones though, it corrects the word to comrade, accompanied by a warning. This word can only be used to describe your siblings. Imagine getting a warning for attempting to type a slang word. That's moderation on a level that I have never experienced before. But
what happens if you type, like, fuck Kim Jong-un? Like, would that, like, would, like, your phone just brick and they would, like, fucking seize you instantly? No, seriously, like, what if you, like, typed, like, some sort of threat? Like, they would be, like, your phone just explodes.
I would say even more significant than autocorrect, the biggest factor in controlling information going in and out of North Korea, and the main reason that the country is still this cryptic bubble and we barely know these phones even exist, is the internet situation. Or really, the lack of one. Look at this. On the Haeyang phone,
there is I want to also kind of side note here, there is like a level of US meddling that people claim goes on for foreign phones for us as well. Like, most US citizens that own a phone own an iPhone and don't really ever have access to, like, Huawei, which is the Chinese phone that is a lot of the time seen as more technologically advanced and more user-friendly and developed than the US iPhone and iOS versions. But, like, nobody owns a Huawei. It's, like, impossible to get a fucking Huawei.
you can swipe down from the top and you see your control panel that looks basically the same as every other Android's. And there's even a Wi-Fi button there, but when you press it, absolutely nothing happens. Weird, but let's go into settings to click on Wi-Fi directly, but you can't.
How the fuck does the phone work if you don't have LTE and you don't have Wi-Fi? What the fuck do you use the phone for? It's just constantly in airplane mode?
And they've actually gone a step further with this more recent Samtaesung, because you go into the quick settings, there isn't even a Wi-Fi icon at all. It's like they don't want—
What do you use the fucking phone for? The calculator app? Like, what am I gonna play offline Subway Surfers on the fucking phone? What do you use the phone for? You're not fucking connected to anything. Messaging? You can't message people without fucking connectivity. Or bars.
You to even consider that the feature could—
That's the point? Well, then don't even give them phones.
—be as accessible as that. The only way to get something that even resembles Wi-Fi is this. It's called Mirai, and it needs so many details from you, including your government—
Oh shit, so they just like require, because it's too easy to just connect to something, so they restrict that, so you have to use an app that like tracks your Wi-Fi.
ID and an authenticated North Korean physical SIM card that it's pretty safe to assume everything you do while using it can be traced right back to you. And even with all of that, this still doesn't get you onto the internet. There's actually no way for a North Korean citizen to do that. All this can get you is access to a highly curated North Korean.
Whenever I see shit about like North Korean technology, I always remember like the videos of the Russians talking about how when North Korea sent their troops to help Russia in the war, the Russians always cited the North Korean people being like cripplingly addicted to like porn and cartoons. Like they because they've never seen it before, so it's like it was such like a culture shock for them that like their eyes were just like glued to the screen. Like the technology that they have there, like the unrestricted access to the internet's like absurd.
Intranet, where you can look at specifically government-approved TV, news, propaganda, and apps. More on that in a bit, but the key thing to know for now...
Damn, bro. Do you think there's like any apps they could use that we use? No. Because it would be non-North Korean tech. I'm thinking like games. Like, dude, like Doodle Jump. Like, you think I feel like, bro, like, do you think they're like restricted from playing like Doodle Jump?
Is it doesn't look like it would be a great experience. The app itself tells you to expect speeds between 2 and 33 megabits per second, less than a 14th of the speeds that South Koreans are getting on their public Wi-Fi. I imagine.
Well, to be fair, doesn't South Korea also have the best Wi-Fi in the entire world? Like, by area? Like, their Wi-Fi's crazy.
The way that North Korea's leaders are seeing this is they know that the second they give their population access to the open World Wide Web, it's game over for being able to control the way they act and think. But then at the same time, they can't give the people nothing if they're trying to convince them that their country is truly superior to all others. Hence, this careful substitution of traditional Wi-Fi features for this highly traceable Wi-Fi equivalent that reinforces national pride as opposed to diluting it. But those speeds are so dated. And to be honest, everything about using both of these phones feels dated. Like, it's pretty sad that this Samtae-sung is one of their modern flagship phones. It was only released recently in 2023 in North Korea. It was priced pretty close to $1,000, but it looked...
What North Korean citizen is fucking affording that? Like, that's what I don't understand. It has to be people that are living in, like, the capital. Like, it has to be somebody that's living in Pyongyang, because, like, the average North Korean citizen is just, like, dead broke.
Looks like a mid-range Huawei phone from 2021. Actually, let me be clear. It
has to be people that I think they're also giving people the phones that are in like some sort of not substantial power, but they're in a position of luxury, or I guess they're well off enough to where like they would start looking for like tech. They would want the next thing. And if North Korea doesn't give them the next thing, then they're going to be like, okay, I'm not revolting, but there would be some sketchy shit behind the scenes.
Looks like a mid-range Huawei phone from 2021. I'm almost getting deja vu looking at it. The way the camera module has an identical style and position. The way the body and the screen curves around in a seemingly identical...
I mean, yeah, bro, they literally probably got a Huawei and went, how do we copy this but make it fucking 10 times worse so our citizens can't fucking do anything with it?
Even this incredibly unique Huawei-style cutout around the buttons and this red line in the middle of the power key is the same. Plus, for security reasons, I've got to keep the IMEI number hidden. But when we traced it back, it does look like this phone was manufactured in China, just like Huawei phones. So I think there's two possible...
So there's Chinese companies that are making phones for North Korean people? I thought they would have had that shit in-house.
Explanations. Either this phone was actually secretly made by Huawei themselves and supplied to North Korea for them to add their software layer, or Samtae-sung just decided, we like the look of that one, let's copy it. Because you're about to see...
I would assume that's probably what it is.
This yourselves, but so much of the content on these phones is copied content already. Why not the phone design too? But also that, unlike the Huawei that this looks so similar to, this phone does have a thicker bezel and a notch, this extremely tasteless font on show throughout the whole user interface, and then the only form...
Yeah, can I say that? It's like a sad phone. Like, I wouldn't be able to guess what country it's from if you just handed me the phone, but I'd be like, this is a bad, like, this is a shitty phone. It's a sad phone. Like, the font's shitty, bro. The font's shitty. The fucking look is, like, sleek, but, bro, it looks like a fucking lithium battery. Like it looks like I'm staring at something that would charge a fucking e-bike.
Form of branding on the camera is a feebly written 64 megapixel that gives me absolutely zero reassurance it's going to be a good experience. And it is not. On the Haeyang phone, we're just getting extremely poor, grainy image quality all around. And even though there are 3 cameras on the back of this phone, there is still no ultra-wide and no zoom. So both extra cameras are just useless macro and depth cameras. A trend that, globally speaking, started to die out pretty fast after 2020. And so the idea that this thing released in 2023 with that kind of setup shows the time lag that we're operating with here. And then on the flagship Samsung, the camera is super buggy. We couldn't even get it to flip around to the rear cameras. And it's also got this really unusual watermark plastered over it, which when we reverse, it spells out, please contact Heinetron. Now, I did a little digging and turns out Heinetron
Anytime you take a picture, it fucking watermarks your face.
is a small, private, China-based company who makes a lot of smartphone parts. So it kind of looks here like they've supplied some of the bits for this phone, but then North Korean Samsung has just like not paid their license fee or something. Regardless though of whether this phone is a secret Huawei collab or just a blatant ripoff, it doesn't change the fact that it is terrible value when you consider the global market. But that makes a lot of sense. With North Korea, we are talking about a very unusual market that has almost no competitive pressure. There's almost no incentive to give people cutting edge tech. And if anything, the more dated the tech, the simpler it is, and therefore the easier it is going to be to control. That would also explain why the Haeyang is still running Android 10 with seemingly no ability to update beyond that, and why Samsung is stuck on Android 11, making it 5 years worth of updates behind current Android.
I don't understand that about fucking update shit. Like, what is so bad? Is it like vulnerabilities? Like, what's so bad about not updating something that works currently? That eventually there's vulnerabilities that haven't been patched? Yeah, it's like security shit, but also probably like lag and glitches. So they're using like 5-year-old fucking software on a brand new phone.
Show you what I mean by all this copied stuff. So there is an
It'd be like running your computer today on like Windows 8.
app literally here with a Microsoft Word logo. You open it up and it gives you the option for Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. But I can assure you what you are getting here are not Microsoft apps, not even close in functionality. I would actually go as far as to say that at least 50% of the icons that you see on these phones are stripped directly.
I feel like they're unusable, dude. Video editor. There's people making fucking CapCut edits in fucking North Korea. Get the hell out of here. Theme manager, what is this?
Directly from other companies, like File Manager and Compass. Those are basically Huawei icons that are very slightly reskinned. Maps is an almost one-to-one of the Google Maps icon. This random game uses the same icon as the Mobi Office work application. But let's just zoom out for a second. Even the official Samsung wallpaper, I'm pretty sure they have literally just downloaded the wallpaper from an Honor phone and then added an 8 to it. And then if I go over here to the About Phone section, I recognize that image. That image is actually stripped straight from the promo material of the completely different looking Huawei Mate 30 Pro phone from years ago. And yet it is serving as the poster image for the Samsung.
I'm surprised they even put this much work into like making it look nice. Like, do you think that's a part of the appeal for the North Korean people? Is like they're really trying to con you into thinking this is a good phone? Because like is the average North Korean person that gets this phone like staring at this image and being like, wow, I really have the next big tech.
Samsung 8, which makes me side with the theory that this is a copy of Huawei as opposed to made by Huawei. Because if it was made by Huawei, surely the company would use an image that at least matched the design of the phone. There's a whole library of informational videos that you can buy as part of North Korea's intranet, like this one, all about the football club Arsenal. And on the face of it, you're like, oh, this is really premium, how professionally produced. But look a little closer, and you can see this is actually ripped straight from an Amazon Prime series. It's just instead of Stay in the Game, it's titled Sweat for the Win. And it's got the logo of a North Korean company plastered across the entire length of it. But there is literally no way.
Today I'm going to show you trash and treasure. That's what I'm going to call the video.
Ooh, so are we going to be ranking if it's trash or treasure, or he's going to show me trash and then treasure and then trash?
I did put some stuff in the box already, which I can't. try to show you, but it's not really working. So
It's a solid noise. I'm excited to see what's in this box.
what I'm gonna do is
I'm excited to see what he has in that cardboard box for this video.
pull out one thing at a time and show you. And I got bins. I got bins right here. See bins?
Oh, so he's gonna separate it between trash and treasure.
I got 2 bins and a box full of junk and our treasure. We don't know yet. Okay. So, this is the first thing. This
It's a key.
goes in here. This is treasure.
I would say that's also treasure. It's a key. I don't know if it's his key.
Treasure bin.
Yeah, it's a key for something.
This will go into the trash bin,
Okay. So now we have some objective ruling on what's trash and treasure.
which will be in here.
That's definitely treasure. A watch hand. Treasure. Trash. Can I see the tip of the screwdriver? I feel like there's a chance that it's just broken. That would be treasure, but this could be... Oh, it's scrap metal? Yeah, copper tubing. Copper tubing. Copper tubing. You can sell it for money. Trash. Oh, God. He almost knocked over the bin. He's not really doing a lot of commentary. I love that he feels the need to show me. He needs to show me how he's sorting it. Okay, yeah, that's the trash bin. Trash. I really want him to say where he's putting it. Because I truly feel like that could have gone in the treasure bin for all I know. That could have been anything. What is that? What is that? Was that a nail file? He's not doing any explanations. You gotta say that's trash. Okay. Dude, where did he get this shit? That's trash. Trash. Yeah. We didn't really color code the fucking bins here. I don't know where you're putting anything. I don't know what that is either. Is that a necklace? That's treasure. I think that was a treasure pick. Trash.
Not too much treasure though. There's mostly trash.
It's like 95% shit. Dude, I feel like he had to have gone to like some sort of scrap yard and got this. Broken glasses. Okay. I don't know what that is either. A lot of metal fragments. Oh, this is from metal detecting? So you think this is all from shit he's found in the woods? I don't know if that would still be considered legal tender. I couldn't even read the face of that coin. Oh, that's the treasure bin. Screwdriver's definitely treasure. Trash. I feel like I'm watching interdimensional cable right now. More coins. He's got a lot of money.
Huh.
He finds a lot of money.
Bullet.
Where do you think he put that one? Where do you think he put that one? He casually just had a bullet. some sort of miscellaneous fucking bottle full of probably some, I guess, discontinued drug. Maybe there was paint in there. A flask? What is that? Cock ring. Coins.
Yeah, lots of pennies we've been finding.
Yeah. Another bullet casing. I don't think those are live bullets. I think those are used. Oh my god, I thought that was a rat. Oh my god. Part of me, I know it's all metal, but I thought that was a tail of an animal for a second. Those are like fishing weights. Another coin. Oh no, it's not a coin, it's a button. Trash. Another weight. Don't know what that is. Why do I love this? Fishing thing. Dude, he's so quickly showing the camera, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Another fishing lure.
Mostly treasure and trash, but some treasure is not very good. Some is good.
Fair. Dude, this is how I perceive, not Epicurus. Fuck. Who was the philosopher that used to, like, live, like, very freely? He lived in a barrel. Diogenes. I feel like this is, like, modern-day Diogenes. Just not giving a fuck. Just doing whatever he wants. Bro's just living. What is that? Like, where is he finding... How is he finding this much metal, like, in the woods? Or wherever he's going?
Boy, my trash bin is getting full.
The trash bin's getting pretty fucking full. I mean, dude, we're finding duplicates right now. I feel like I'm doing a fucking FIFA pack opening. It's another fishing lure. That better not go in the treasure pile. I feel like he's getting stressed out. Cock ring. Red thing.
Okay. That's all about I'm going to show you, because it's getting long. So, thank you, YouTube, and cheers, and thank...
I loved that. Dearest wizard, we love you. With you, it is all treasure. I'm starting a 7-year journey walking across the lands to meet you and study your ways. Then in my old age, I may return to my village and pass your knowledge on to the next generation as the local wizard. Hard to believe I found you from the Pickle Pepsi video. You've become my favorite face to see. Dude, he's just so positive. I fucking love this guy. Just coming out with banger videos. Fucking give that a like too, dude. Oh my god, that was awesome. Holding a lit joint, I'm like, I am not gonna remember you guys. I am not gonna remember you guys. Right before that, we were at a Minecraft party for MCC, and all the drinks were Minecraft themed. So you got like a suspicious brew. I kept getting the creepers hug. The first two, I felt really cringy walking up. You know when you go to like Cold Stone and you have to order a size, and it's not like small, medium, large. It's like, I'm feeling hungry. Can I get the chocolate ice cream in the I'm feeling hungry size or some shit? So I walk up, I'm like, the bartender's like, what do you want? I'm like, could I get a Queepa hug? Could I get an Endoportal? Could I get an Endoportal? I'm fucking asking for these stupid fucking drink names. But they were so good. Oh my god, the creepers hug, chat. When I tell you, that was a top 10 mixed drink. It was like green. It was like neon green, like it's sludge. Fucking chugged that shit. Anyways. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to show before we get to the end of the story, but not really the end. I would say the most interesting thing that happened the entire trip was at the airport on the way home. I think I almost got murdered. Where is the one image I want to show real quick? Oh, we went to this one bar. Okay, a lot of this revolves around drinking, and I know that's kind of insane that like that's all I'm talking about, but that's like effectively all I did there outside of like meetings and rivals events. And I'm not going to be like, yeah, so I actually had this cool meeting with my manager. It's not fun to talk about. I went to this one bar. Guess how much this pint, or not even, I don't even know what a pint is. This was 32 ounces of beer, however much that is. Is that a pint? This was $6. I was like, wow, what a steal. I felt like a dad. Anyways, that Monday, so yesterday we went home and we had a flight to catch like 9 a.m. Oh my God, one more thing, I'm remembering it. We ordered room service one day and the guy fucking shows up and he has a whole cart of it and I'm sitting there like about to grab the plate from him and he goes, where do you want it? And I go, no, because I hate when they walk in the room. I don't want you to, it feels so weird when like a hotel worker walks into my hotel room while I'm there. So I'm like, you could just put it right here. And he starts like taking all the plates off and putting them there. And I'm just like standing there like, and it's like 3 minutes. He's like moving stuff around. And then he hands me a bill with a, like in one of the black envelopes. And I'm like, does this charge to the room or do I have to give you a card? And he didn't speak English. He knew how to say, I'm not making fun of that. Nothing's wrong with that, by the way. It was just the language barrier made this part specifically really hard. He was like, where do I put it? I go, is this getting charged to the room or am I giving you my card? He goes, and I'm trying to go, I'm not judging those people, but it's like, makes you feel more unsafe, you know, if I'm in a more dimly lit street and there's people that are kind of like obviously on drugs walking around me. We're passing these people and I am like full paranoid. I'm at the level of high where I think everybody knows I'm high and they're going to say something to me that I look high. So we get to the restaurant. It's packed. I'm like, table for two? She goes, we don't have a table for two. You could sit at the bar. In my head, I go, oh no. Because sitting at the bar means I have to sit next to other people. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. We'll sit at the bar. So we sit down. The waiter walks up and he's talking to us and he looks at me and I'm like, he knows I'm high. He knows I'm high. My eyes are so red. Like literally like tomato red. I asked for a Diet Coke. He fucking brings it over to me. I finish it. He brings me another one. Doesn't even ask. Goat. Feel like he definitely knew that I had like dry mouth. I order way too much food and I eat the first rolls and appetizers. They're so good. Then he brings out like the nigiri and I don't say nigiri right. He says it right. And I could tell that he was kind of judging me that I said nigiri instead of the way that you're supposed to say it. I can't say it and I'm not going to attempt to because I feel like it could come off wrong. So he brings it out and I'm staring at, I ordered like 4 pieces of fucking tuna, salmon, fucking yellowtail. I got crab. I got so much shit and I'm looking at that and I'm like, that looks disgusting. I love sushi, but as high as I was, I'm like, I'm about to eat raw fish. And so I'm eating it and it's the biggest pieces of fish I've ever fucking seen. And I'm chewing it and it's filled my whole mouth and I'm going like this. And Brooke's staring at me. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, it's just so much. It's so much raw fish. And I'm like slamming it down. We leave. And I'm like, that was the worst fucking sushi I've ever had. And it's not even because the sushi was bad. It was because I was too high to enjoy it. Finally, like, I'm coming down from it and we're walking back. And there is this guy that is just, I'm not making fun of him. I'm not judging him. He scared the shit out of me. He looked like he had gotten struck by lightning. Covered it, like, I'm talking like hair, like literally looked like he was cartoonishly struck by lightning. He was covered in dirt. He was staring at us. And when we walked by him, he went, like, I'm like holding my breath as I'm passing him. I'm like, dude, I feel like it was so scary. There was this one other guy at the first day. It's me, Sneeg, Hannah, Sneeg's wife, and Brooke. And this one dude who was on like fucking bath salts or some shit walks right up to us. Out of nowhere. We're leaving the TwitchCon party going to another bar. He goes, stop fucking staring at me. You want to fucking go? And I'm like, what? Out of no, literally like darts across the street, makes eye contact with us, and he starts following, like tailing us from behind. And I like keep snapping my head, and I literally say to Sneak, I'm like, bro, we might have to like fucking fight this guy. Like unironically, we might have to fucking fight this guy. He ends up like darting across the street and then harassing this other group. And I don't want to say I was happy because I felt bad for them, but I was like, thank fuck, I don't have to fucking deal with that guy anymore. That was like the two bad experiences there. What's really happening with price tags?
This apple and this apple are the exact same, except for one.
Well, here's the first problem. You're buying a Granny Smith apple, which is disgusting, okay? We're not even going to get into the price tag bit yet. The fact that you are purchasing willingly a green apple from a grocery store is gross. The only thing worse would be like you being somebody that's buying a Macintosh or like a mushy red apple.
One thing. I only paid $1.29 for this apple, but for this one, you paid nearly 3 times that. Not because yours is any better, it's not organic, and I didn't get mine on sale. These are exactly the same, but the algorithm decided that you would pay more than me. Let me explain.
Listen, folks.
Yeah, well, it's really any store that has digital price tags, don't shop at. I think with the I guess advancement of technology, one of the only things that should never change is physical price tags, because that ensures that they can really only change them like once per day. Like unless it's like one singular product that they're up pricing. Like when you see paper, that's how you know that like that's been there at least today.
Start having a rush hour price to it.
These price tags started updating right in front of me.
Just stick it to your customers just a little bit more.
What a wild concept.
Carnegie, Rockefeller.
Do you guys have places with digital price tags though? I'll see them, but not to the point where like Walmart has everyone a digital price tag.
Just stick it to your customers just a little bit more.
What a wild concept.
Carnegie, Rockefeller, and Vanderbilt. What do they all have in common? They owned monopolies. Carnegie was the king of steel, Rockefeller was the king of oil, and Vanderbilt was the king of railroads.
These guys focused all of their time and money on one thing, and that was dominating their industries. As their businesses grew, they were able to effectively crush any competition and choose whatever price they wanted to charge. And they were pretty much untouchable.
But in 1890, a senator from Ohio formed a bill that would allow the government to step in. This bill, also known as the Sherman Act, only had 2 sections. Section 1 made price fixing illegal, and Section 2 made it a crime to monopolize or attempt to monopolize an industry. As you can imagine, when the government passes a law that goes against the richest people in the country, they usually find creative ways around it. So in 1914, the government had to pass.
It's illegal to monopolize, but what counts as a monopoly, right? Like the fact that you have 0 competitors, because you could argue that a lot of the big companies right now, like the top 5 in the S&P 500, are effectively monopolies of their own trade. Like, is Amazon not a monopoly in some way? Like, obviously, the Amazon Prime Video portion of Amazon is not a monopoly. But, like, the Amazon service of, like, okay, yeah, there's Temu and eBay and Etsy and other places where you buy shit online. But, like, I would argue that the majority of Americans and anywhere really where Amazon's available is using Amazon as the first and foremost place where they're buying almost any product.
We're gonna start acting like airline tickets.
So let's play a game to really understand what we're dealing with. Here we have 2 grocery stores, Dave's and Willie's. To keep things simple, let's pretend they each
I'm going to Dave's.
Sell the same thing. Both stores sell their apples for $3 a piece. Customers don't really have a preference, so they just shop wherever their heart desires. But Dave decides that he wants to make a little bit more money, so he lowers his price to $2.50. For the next
Good choice going to Dave's.
week, the majority of customers start shopping at Dave's for their apples because they're cheaper. But as soon as Willie catches on to this, he lowers his price to $1.99. Again, all the shoppers follow the lower price.
That's just the idea of like capitalism, free market, right? The problem with that is nobody ever lowers prices or does anything reasonably without the potential to then just raise it in the long term. Like, it's like short-term gains for or short-term losses for long-term gains. It's just gross economics. I mean, it's literally just the idea of competitive pricing because you need to, not because you feel like you want to give your customers a good deal.
Price and move back to Willie's. As you can imagine, this could just continue indefinitely, and that's why it's called a race to the bottom. This is the ideal scenario for us because companies are forced to compete for the lowest price to attract the most customers. However, after all this back and forth, both Willie and Dave are now making way less than they did when both of their prices were $3. If they could get together and create a plan, they could both raise their price to $5 and make way more because customers have nowhere else to go for their apples. But that would be considered collusion, and that's illegal according to the Sherman Act. But
well, and isn't it also within reason on how low you're able to drop that price tag, right? Because couldn't Microsoft, the fucking, monolith of a company that it is, sell their Xboxes for $50 and just take billions of dollars in losses and effectively drive PlayStation out of business?
Doing the collusion, and instead it's the algorithm. And what if the algorithm didn't just know what everyone else was?
Competitive pricing is what Xbox did initially. PlayStation, I'm not 100% sure, didn't want to sell the PlayStation for $500. But when Xbox, it got leaked that they were going to sell it for that, PlayStation had to match competitively. It's not a coincidence that they're selling for the same price.
But it also knew everything about you. We're going to get to that, but I have something else to show you first. Exchange-traded funds were built in the 90s, and when you invest in one, you get what you get. You can't customize it, and there's only about 4,000 total options in the United States.
This is an ad.
Ideas, visit public.com/grant. Let's take a look at this chart. It's a simple concept most of us learned in school. Here you have a line showing the supply and
you're like, yo, bro's talking about ETFs, yo. Like, what am I going to start? Exchange traded funds. What am I on, Robinhood?
Line showing the supply, and here is the demand. The point where these lines cross is the optimal price an object should be. As the demand goes up, the price goes up. As the demand goes down, the price goes down.
Oh my God, wait, a monopoly is just the diamond market. That's the best fucking explanation, is the diamond market. I mean, you could even see that with iShowSpeed Stream when Speed tried to buy a diamond and they were like, oh no, we're only allowed to sell to 2 people. Like, the diamond market, diamonds aren't as rare as they seem. Like, they artificially withhold the supply to increase the capability of them to sell them at a higher demand, right? Because they limit the supply, that increases demand. But if they released all the diamonds they had, then diamond pricing would drop pretty drastically.
Pricing goods, but ever since we started carrying these around, things have changed. Airplane tickets were some of the first things most of us noticed. Depending on what time of year you were buying them or when the trip was planned for, it might be more expensive or less expensive. This is what's called dynamic pricing. It's the reason Ubers cost more during rush hour and why flights cost more during spring break. Dynamic prices.
I think dynamic pricing, though, isn't bad in certain instances. Like, an Uber should cost way more at 3 in the fucking morning when there's less Uber drivers than at noon. You know? Like, if you're trying to DoorDash a fucking burrito at 3 a.m., that should cost you more money because there's less people available. It's different, though, when it's grocery stores that are dynamically pricing a product that isn't rare or a commodity that makes sense to do dynamic pricing for. Like, even flights, it kind of makes sense. Where if it's like the day before a flight and it's not full, obviously they're going to drop the prices because they want to fill the flight. What doesn't make sense is when airlines overbook people and then you have that motherfucker on the comms go, yeah, this is Delta Airlines number 608. We are looking for 2 passengers to potentially take a later flight for $500. No, I'm not getting off the fucking flight. I'm not getting off the fucking flight. Give me $5,000. Give me $5,000. I'll get off the flight.
On customer-specific variables. These are things that are determined without any customer data, but as we've started to open our lives up more and more to data collection, we've pretty much opened Pandora's box and allowed companies to take complete control of our spending. If we return back to the Sherman Act, for something to be considered collusion, there needs to be an agreement to fix prices between multiple parties. But that agreement doesn't need to be said, written, or even directly agreed on. It could be something as simple as a wink. For example, if Dave and Willie, our grocery store owners, are out golfing one day and Dave says, "Man, the price on these apples is way too low." Then they both go and raise the prices the next day. That's considered illegal collusion. In other words, you don't need a direct agreement at all. You just need to prove that they are no longer acting independently. That leads us to the problem we're having today. And in order to explain this, I think we need to order some groceries.
Now, Instacart has been getting...
Bro just Instacarted 2 apples and a fucking box of cereal. Are we dead ass? Are we dead ass? I feel like it's a waste when you're not ordering. Like, yo, I always think if I'm gonna order something, I'm gonna order like $100 worth of shit. Like, don't, like, dude, you remember that one time when Handsome DoorDashed a fucking Red Bull? Like a singular Red Bull. I'm like, you just paid a guy to walk into a 7-Eleven, grab a Red Bull, and drive it to your fucking house. Like, that is insanity.
Some heat lately. In a recent investigation, Consumer Reports found that grocery store prices were completely different for each customer, sometimes as much as 23%. And most of us know Instacart because of their app and being able to simply order our groceries instead of walking around the aisles of a grocery store, but they are also the leading software that grocery stores rely on. I mean, just think about it. Instacart had over 250 million orders in the first 3 quarters of 2025 alone. That's hundreds of millions of data points that they can compile and sell to the grocery.
Yo, I never use Instacart because I don't want another motherfucker picking which blueberries I'm using, okay? When I go to the produce section, I'm looking at the case. I'm seeing, oh no, that one's got a rotten one. Don't want it. That one's good, you know? If I get Instacart, now it's some minimum wage. It's one of you guys. It's one of you guys, you know. You're high on the job, you know. You don't give a fuck if I get good grapes. Because you're just fulfilling the order. Why would you put that extra effort to be like, oh, this raspberry's a little fuzzy on this one? Fuck no. Why are we catching strays? Because the people that fulfill Instacart orders are usually like starting out at a Walmart. It's not somebody that's us, because the older people are the ones at the front checking the fucking receipts and just racially profiling people. The people that are doing Instacart are like the young guys that are rushing around to get shit done. The old people that have been there are the ones that are only stopping black people at the front. That's what they're doing. I mean, that's literally what they're doing. You can watch them do it. That's what they do.
Grocery stores to improve their efficiency because it's a digital.
That's cap, brother. You must be going to a different Walmart.
Storefront, there aren't any price tags and they can update things in real time. They even acquired Eversight in 2022, which is an AI company designed to optimize pricing.
I've seen it. I've seen it, bro. They read every receipt. But when I hand them a receipt, he goes, if I stand behind somebody that's a minority, that motherfucker's looking through each individual fucking thing. I'm like, yeah, no, that's crazy.
Promotions and discounts. But that optimization isn't for the customers, it's for the stores.
According to Instacart, the tools they've built with Eversight can increase grocery store sales by 1 to...
I'm a minority. Thank you for sharing, Zod. I've never seen that in my life. I go to Costco. I've never stepped foot in a Costco in my life, so I couldn't tell you what Costco's got going on.
3% and profit from additional sales by 2 to 5%. All of this being driven by an algorithm that is not only testing and updating prices and discounts.
Well, you're rich. I still shop at Walmart.
And profit from additional sales by 2 to 5%. All of this being driven by an algorithm that is not only testing and updating prices and discounts in real time, but it's also using our information against us. Which brings us back to our previous point on dynamic pricing. If you remember, dynamic pricing is based on non-customer specific variables. But to do what what Instacart was doing, you need customer data like where they live and what they do for work, otherwise known as surveillance pricing. It is important to note that as of December 22nd, 2025, Instacart did announce that they are immediately ending all price tests and use of Eversight technology to run those price tests, but they are still allowing tests on promotions and discounts. Now, surveillance pricing really caught on thanks to social media. As we've shared more of our lives online and taught the algorithms what type of things we like to look at and buy, we're giving them the keys to our brains and how we shop. Not just that, but the brands have also found new ways to collect even more.
Well, the AI's gotta be fucking glitching out on TikTok, brother, because the ads that I get on that fucking app are absolute horseshit. None of the stuff that I see I have any interest in. The only thing that I will say is I get a lot of fidget spinner lighter ads, and I almost bought one of them.
Data, and they've gotten really good at hiding it from us. All those loyalty programs you belong to, they're not really designed to reward your loyalty with free drinks and fries. Instead, they're just the bait to extract even more information from you. When you download their apps, you're giving up access to things like your location, the purchases you make on your phone, and some apps even include mini games that you'll play for extra points. But those mini games
What app are you playing? It has a mini game for extra points.
Are actually designed to study your psychological habits to learn even more about your shopping style. So when you're presented with an ad or you're looking to order your next meal, the app knows exactly what to put in front of you to maximize their profit. And that decision is made by an algorithm. These algorithms are constantly taking
McDonald's. Yo, whenever I pull up, you ever pull up to a, I haven't been to a McDonald's in so long, but you pull up to a McDonald's, are you using the app? No. No.
And new information and forming opinions on you and what you're willing to spend.
And this gets really creepy when you start to think about it, because these brands have built these huge profiles on us. If I lived in Beverly Hills, I used an iPhone, I shop at Whole Foods, I make reservations at nice restaurants, and I typically take 2 to 3 vacations a year, my shopper profile would feed me higher priced goods every time. And I would buy them without...
Yeah, because you're not reading the price. I mean, dude, that's the one thing that it's like... One of the most immediate luxuries of having a level of wealth is you don't you're not individually itemizing receipt. You know, you're just looking at it and going, okay, this costs this amount of money, and then writing it off, right? Or not writing it off like tax purposes. I'm saying like pushing it off, moving it to the side. Like you don't give a fuck, right? Like if you're somebody that is living paycheck to paycheck or like middle class, how much the apples cost per pound matter, right? That's why to always see how in touch somebody is, they always go, how much is a gallon of milk? I don't know, not because I'm not in touch, but because I don't drink dairy because Big Milk is a fucking con. I guess the price of my total every time I go to the grocery store, and I'm right within $5 every single fucking time. Every single fucking time I'm within $5 of that bitch. Went 2 days ago, and I'm telling you, I said, I'm looking at everything, I go, it's probably gonna be $150. Actually, 160. It was 163. Get me on The Price is Right.
Not a second thought. On the other hand, if I only shopped at discount stores, I'm already saving coupons.
How much are eggs? Don't know. I can tell you how much chicken costs, though. Chicken tenderloins. If you get the Purdue chicken versus the Walmart chicken, it's different pricing. But I usually get the Purdue chicken packets that are about like $6.30 a thing. And it comes with about 8 tenderloins. And I get 2 of them.
Rarely purchase something if it's not on sale. The algorithm will only ever feed me discounted items or lower priced goods.
But don't just take my word for it, because this is actually happening around us right now. In 2019, an investigation showed that Target was charging $4.99 for a TV on their app. But when you pulled into a parking lot of one of their stores, the price would increase to $5.99 because the algorithm...
They were up at that bitch $100.
...assumed you're more likely to purchase if you're already at the store. Also, in 2012, Orbitz was caught pushing Mac users to more expensive hotel options than PC users. When you would log onto the site with a Mac, the more expensive options would pop up first. The algorithm assumed that if you had a Mac, you were probably in a higher income bracket and could afford it. One study even showed that shoppers selecting fast delivery on baby formula were labeled as rushed parents and were assumed to not be price sensitive. So the algorithm would just bump up the price on baby items. But the problem's
The one other thing I gotta say that does this that I don't care and I think it's cool is stock market bars. There's bars where the more people that are buying a drink, the more it costs. So there's like price crashes and hikes, and they'll have a list of like pricing that constantly changes. Those bars are cool as shit. Where if everybody's buying Coors Light, now it's fucking, instead of like $6 or like $8 a can, if it's just like a cheaper bar, now it's 12, 15. But if it's like nobody's buying, Mango Cart, now Mango Carts are real cheap. Just buy the cheapest shit. Yeah, but then you buy the cheapest shit, then it gets expensive. Then you gotta switch drinks.
these algorithms aren't actually owned by each individual brand you have an account with. They're typically third-party providers, which means your data is being collected by one brand, sent to another company, and then compiled and shared with who knows how many companies. And now they all have access to what makes you most likely to purchase and how much you're willing to pay. But because all these brands use the same third-party providers, the algorithm also knows what every other brand is charging for the exact same thing. And in order to explain why that's a problem, we need to look at a company called RealPage. They're a software company that landlords could use for a variety of things, but specifically, it helped them determine the optimal price to rent their units out at. Similar to Dave and Willie in their grocery stores, landlords used to set their prices with a ballpark idea of what the market was willing to pay. They did this based on things they saw, heard, or observed around them. They weren't allowed to do this through agreements with one another because that would be collusion. But by using RealPage, landlords were getting pricing suggested to them. That pricing was calculated using all of the confidential data that RealPage had access to, which included all of the prices of the rental units in their area and the supply of units available. Using this information,
I was going to say, I assumed that's how they did it. It's just like, how much are the other apartments around the same square footage in the same building going for?
the algorithm learned that instead of constantly decreasing prices to compete with other landlords, it could just set a higher rate for everyone and give the renters no other options. In some cases, the rental rates run by RealPage software increased by over 25% in just 11 months. It's just like the conversation Dave and Willie had earlier about raising the price of apples to $5. If everyone raises their price, there's nowhere else to go and the customers have to pay it. But this brings us to the question.
Well, isn't that part of the problem with like Section 8 housing as well? Section 8 housing is when you could get part of your rent paid for by the government, for the people that don't know. Part of the problem with Section 8 housing is places will partake in Section 8, but then up their pricing, knowing that a percentage of it is going to be covered by Section 8. So they're actually just making you pay more because they know the government's going to be paying for a percentage of what it is. I'm not a genius on real estate, though, so it's just like greed, though, of like real estate owners.
If it's an algorithm determining the prices and the landlords or companies aren't actually discussing anything.
Imagine a world where people aren't slaves to money. The problem is money's kind of needed. You could have different economies that run and have rules for how money is shared and how much things cost, but you kind of need money in a society for it to function. If you don't have money, then you need something that is an attributed asset or something that is valuable and can be given a price-to-price ratio. It used to be the gold standard, right? So, like, everything used to be based around gold. Now it's based around the U.S. dollar or whatever currency that your country has. But you need some sort of centralized thing that is different from just trade items. You need something that just has value. Otherwise, you can't trade for certain items. Because, like, the older days, it was like, hey, I have a bunch of wheat. Well, I don't need fucking wheat. So you then trade wheat for gold, and then you use gold to buy something else.
Is it collusion? This has been a hot topic as AI and algorithms have completely outpaced our current laws, but the DOJ in several states did sue RealPage over anti-competitive practices, and there's currently a proposed settlement between the DOJ and RealPage that would force them to stop offering software that recommends how much to charge tenants, which is a win, but there also has been similar cases related to hotels and casino pricing that have been dismissed in court due to lack of evidence. Which leaves us in this weird twilight zone, and is part of the reason this video was so hard to make. As AI continues to advance and we continue to integrate the digital world with the physical world, how far is this all going to go? This is an electronic shelf label. You've probably noticed them at stores like Best Buy or Target, and in theory, it makes it easier for stores to reprice items or change shelf layouts. But they can also be changed remotely at any time, which means it won't just be Instacart changing the pricing in the app while you're shopping, but they could update it in real time depending on who's looking at it. Kroger recently partnered with Cooler Screens, who makes those digital freezer doors we're starting to see that often have an ad on them. But the scary part is that they also have a
That's even worse, bro. The fucking freezer doors that just have ads and other shit on them that tell you like what's in there, but it's also popping up other shit that it thinks you might want because it sees that you're standing in front of it, so it profiles you and then markets to you what they think you would most want.
Facial detection feature in them, allowing them to change the ad on the screen depending on the age and gender of the person standing in front of it. Kroger does deny that they're using the facial recognition technology, but we can all imagine what's possible if they decide to turn it on.
Pretend you were to walk into a store tomorrow. As soon as you walk through the door, your phone pings so the algorithm knows you're in the building and immediately has all of your shopping preferences saved. As you're walking through the produce aisle, the algorithm knows you've been watching TikToks about banana bread, so the price tag on the bananas instantly increases from $1.59 to $1.99. As you continue walking through the store, you reach the freezer aisle.
Bananas still aren't even that expensive, bro. Bananas are about the cheapest fucking thing you could buy at a grocery store, dude. Bananas are like 50 cents a pound. They're worth nothing. Bananas are fucking dog shit. Like, it's because there's so many of them and they're so easy to preserve that they could just fucking sell them for almost nothing.
Or recognizes that you're with your 15-year-old nephew, and because the algorithm also knows you've been watching Netflix on your phones, an ad pops up for the new Stranger Things Eggo Waffles collab. Not only that, but the camera also sees your 8-year-old niece who always asks your Amazon Alexa to play the songs from Frozen. So it shows a buy one, get one half off of the waffles and a Frozen inspired ice cream flavor.
Oh my God, the Stranger Things Eggo Waffles?
And a Frozen inspired.
Like, why is that a product? Fucking throw that in the garbage. Frozen 2 Magical Mint Snowflake. That makes more sense.
Neither of which were things we were planning on getting when I walked in the door, but now they're in my cart and I'm spending more than I originally intended. This is just a small example of what's possible with this technology, and it's only getting smarter and better at predicting the maximum amount we are all willing to pay.
If we continue down this path, there won't be a market price anymore, and competition will basically just disappear. We would reach a state of what economists call perfect price discrimination, meaning every person will see a price that is 1 cent below the maximum amount we would pay for an item. Some people would pay $4.99 for an apple, while others would pay $1.99. And all of this is almost unavoidable. Some economists say that surveillance pricing creates a more efficient.
Unless I start acting like I like certain products and hate others. I start tweeting out that I despise Honeycrisp apples and I think that they taste like fucking shit, right? Then I go to the grocery store, I sneak a Honeycrisp apple into the cart.
Efficient market because the price reflects real-time supply and demand on a per-person basis, but it also eliminates the free market. If all the stores use
Honeycrisps are the best. Oh, I agree. They're the best apple. I'm saying I would lie and say that I hate the things that I like.
Same algorithm, you'll never be able to shop around for a lower price or find any real deals. It'll all just be a facade. There have been some proposed regulations that would require online and in-person stores to label things more clearly and say that they were priced by an algorithm, but all those pricing decisions we talked about are meant to be hidden from us. So how would we know if we're actually getting taken advantage of, and would we be able to enforce these new regulations? Thankfully, groups like Consumer Reports are conducting studies and investigations to dig into this, but to a certain extent, we have no idea what's actually happening. And I don't know what the perfect solution is. Do we put a stop to surveillance pricing completely? If so, how would that be enforced? Do we set limits on price increases? Or do we force every company to create their own internal pricing algorithm? I'm not really sure, but I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching.
I don't know. I think just starting with the digital pricing system, I think if they want to have that to reduce the need to physically change every price tag, that's fine. But there has to be some legal rule that they're only allowed to change prices once a day, you know, like at the start of the day. Like once that is set, they're not allowed to change it at noon during rush hour when they know more people are going to be in and they're in a hurry and they're just going to pay more for the product. Like stuff like that. Outside of that, like the collusion of companies working together to determine prices, just fucking remove the capability for them to share information with each other. Lock in. The Last Honest Streamer. It's a video about queso.
And the internet loves the spectacle. The bigger it is, the louder it is, the more expensive it looks, the better it performs. Look at the top of Twitch right now. It's flooded with million-dollar mansions, celebrity subathons, streamers buying their 10th dream car. Everything seems to be built around the question, how...
I don't know. I'm going to have the take that I think the streaming world is pivoting back to desktop. And I think Jinxie and Queso are paving that. I think that there was this like year-long span of like IRL, big event, blah, blah, blah. And you? Well, no, I'm like way behind them on the streaming sense. On YouTube, I'm bigger than Jinxie, not Queso. But no, like Queso and Jinxie are like the desktop guys, you know? Part of becoming an adult is going to the doctor and checking on your health. But making an appointment and even finding a doctor can be a pain, and that is where ZocDoc, the sponsor of today's video, comes into play. ZocDoc makes it easy to find local doctors that fit your needs and insurance. Just input location, type of doctor needed, and when you want an appointment, and ZocDoc will show you nearby doctors that you can schedule right away with the click of a button. I have alpha-gal, or the red meat disease, and before I knew I had it, I just started having symptoms of it. I was breaking out in hives constantly, and I had no idea what was wrong with me. I had never been to an allergist in my entire life, and I had no idea where any of them were or how to even get in contact with one. And when I went on ZocDoc and I searched up allergists, they showed me all the ones in my local area and helped me get an allergist that I needed. Being young does not equate to not needing appointments. Keeping your health in check matters, and ZocDoc is there to help you be proactive for your health. They have more than 150,000 providers with over 200 specialties in all 50 states. They also have real patient reviews and doctor profiles to help you find who you want. If you have a problem, get it checked out. And if you're young, get checkups. Even if you feel fine, it's great to stay proactive and have a baseline so you know when something's going wrong and when you need to change something alongside your medical practitioners, which you're able to find with ZocDoc. I know it seems small, but clicking the link in the description is the first step in prioritizing your health. Go to ZocDoc.com/Bartolozzi to get started and check that appointment off your to-do list. Thank you to ZocDoc again for partnering with us and for helping us take better care of our health.
How much money can we burn on camera? And then there's this guy. Queso is a
720p webcam in a dark room wearing a hoodie. Playing Fall Guys still 50k viewers. Playing Fall Guys in 2026 and still pulling 50k views. Bro, that game is dead. That game is dead, and it's still so entertaining to watch him play it. That's like the weirdest. I think about that constantly. I'm like, Queso still plays Fall Guys. Like, that is, dude, he plays Fall Guys, and he has fucking 100x viewers versus Fall Guys player base. Like, I think he is single-handedly keeping that game, like, afloat. Like, monetarily. Like, I think if Queso didn't play Fall Guys, that game would just be dead. Like, no one would play that. And nobody plays it. Right? How many active players are on Fall Guys? This only might show Steam stats. Right now, there's 640 people on Steam on Fall Guys. That's excluding console players, but it does say on average, Fall Guys averages 1,000 players. That's bad. What's like a normal game? Like not Subnautica 2 or something that just dropped. What's like a game that's not popping but isn't dead? Don't say Fortnite. Fortnite's fucking still huge, even though it is dying. What's like, like Overwatch, or, you know, like Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is like a forever game. It's not like popping, but it's still huge. Yeah, they have 114,000 people on Marvel Rivals right now. 114K. Wow, they've actually been like doing pretty well. What's Overwatch at? I'm just curious. Overwatch is 64K on Steam, but they also have other launchers.
It's interesting, because on paper, he's doing almost everything wrong. His production quality is kind of garbage.
Queso, where'd he come from? 200,000 viewers playing Fall Guys yesterday.
Yeah, it wasn't even zoomed in or cropped.
His setup isn't designed to be some massive content machine. Half the time he's live, he's playing some random game most people have never even heard of.
Your costumes suck.
It's the slot machine, bro. It's the meta. Playing indie horror games is infinite content. There are, dude, I actually could play 5 hours of horror games every day for the next 6 years. There are like 100 new horror games a month.
Sucks, kid.
I mean,
and they're so fun though. It's just straight slop. It's like, dude, it's feel-good content. Why don't you? I do. I play horror games every week. Not as much as Queso, but I play horror games a lot.
Your entire job is getting people to watch you. You don't turn down a Mr. Beast video. But
no, you don't. I played the Family Trip the other day, which is a game where you go camping with like a divorced family and then everybody just dies. Like there's no plot. There's no plot. It's just funny though because the characters are so stupid. It's like, dude, oh my God, I was so high in that too.
So good.
Queso did not respond to my message.
And somehow,
bro, Queso don't be collabing. Queso don't be fucking traveling. Queso don't do really many sponsors. Queso actually could be, Queso's already still top 5 biggest Twitch streamers. Queso could be the biggest creator on YouTube gaming and Twitch-wise. Not even close if he just streamed with people. Like, collabs is like a cheat code for views. Like, if you fucking stream with another guy that's bigger, all you gotta do is just stream with people that's why you see all these top guys just stream with each other. Like, you see all the core guys stream with each other because it just fucking fills their view counts. Like, if Queso and Jinxie stream together every day, Queso would average 100K.
Despite doing the opposite of what the internet tells creators they're supposed to do, he's still one of the biggest streamers on the planet. How does that happen?
Oh my God, he has the perfect audience, too.
The honest answer is that none of this should have worked, because Queso's had the odds stacked against him since day one. Case Baker grew up in rural Arkansas. His hometown has a population just over 1,500.
Holy shit. Queso's from Arkansas? I knew he's from the South. I didn't know what state.
Hometown has a population just over 1,500. It's the kind of place where a new Walmart makes the front page, and where the church...
Oh my God, that's big news. That's big news in that city.
Churches outnumber the stoplights. Towns like that don't have a lot going on. So, as a quiet kid, Case did what quiet kids in quiet towns have always done. He disappeared into a screen. In this case, a PlayStation. Call of Duty on repeat.
Disappeared? Bro, I just feel like if you're a kid in Arkansas in like the early 2000s, because Case was like, what, 26, 28? I feel like, bro, you just playing old Call of Duties and riding dirt bikes.
And when YouTube started blowing up in the
going fishing
early 2010s, he was right there watching Nate Shot and
Queso was not 19. Are you guys on crack? Queso was born in the 90s, chat. Queso was way older than 19. That's an inside joke? Oh, does he say he's 19?
Optic Guys built something that didn't exist.
Does he say he's 19?
A decade earlier. He watched gaming turn from a thing you did after school into an actual career.
Well, how does this sound? Making a living and even a small fortune just playing video games.
The biggest names were clearing their parents' annual salaries in a single weekend. And after watching that, it became Case's dream job. The problem was, he knew the odds, especially in his situation. His Wi-Fi was barely good enough to even watch YouTube. Uploading to it or streaming on Twitch, forget it. So he buried it. He graduated high school, bounced between jobs, often working 2 at a time just to keep the lights on. For 6 years. 6 years of clocking in somewhere he didn't want to be. 6 years of watching other guys his age blow up online doing the exact same thing he'd given up on.
But more boring. But more boring. Dude, I think like 2019, this is just like, it's obviously subjective take, but I think the streamers that exist now are objectively more entertaining than the streamers from like 2018 to 2022. Bro, so most of Twitch in like the Fortnite days was just people that were good at video games and had no personality. Like, there were guys that weren't that, but like pre-COVID, most of Twitch was just pro gamers. Like, that's it.
By the end of it, Case was broke. Burnout.
Like Ninja and Myth, Daquan, they were like the first personalities. Tfue, like they were the first guys that had more to say than he's cracked. Ludwig, bro, Ludwig blew up in like COVID. Ludwig was big in like 2020. Like, I'm saying pre that. I'm saying like 2017 streamers. Like Pokimane and like the 5 other people. Those are like the only people that are like memorable. Oh, Tyler won. Oh, never mind. My point is completely removed. Tyler 1 was the pinnacle of streaming. Oh my God, that guy was so entertaining. He still is so entertaining. Dude, oh my God. Tyler One Days when he was banned from League, Delore. Never mind, I'm wrong. There are gems. There are gems, but they're far and few. That's Queso?
He was one bad week away from walking into a recruiter's office.
That's AI.
And signing up for the military. Then his mom stepped in, and she asked him the question that changed everything. Why not take a real shot at
Wow, Queso was going to join the military.
the whole streaming thing? What's the worst that happens? Now, streaming is one of the most competitive
That is him. It's just an older photo.
jobs on the planet. And if
Dude, I'm going to have the take that I think Queso could just no warm-up bench 315. Like, he just has that fucking barrel build that's just like, he could just go he could just sit down on a bench, hit 315, get up and walk away.
you're like Case, trying to pursue it full time, you need to understand.
It's not hard when you weigh 400 pounds. Queso does not weigh 400 pounds.
There's levels to this.
How tall is Queso? Bro, he probably was like 280. 300. If he's like 6'2", if he's like 6'2", he probably was like 300 pounds. Bro, wait, 400 pounds? I don't think you've ever seen somebody in real life that weighs 400 pounds if you think Queso weighs 400 pounds.
Level 1, you can quit your job. Level 2, you're living large. And at level 3, you're the top 1% of the top 1%. Now, there's no direct
Sorry, what levels did he just say?
levels to this. Level 1, you can quit your job. Level 2, you're living large. And at level 3, you're the top 1% of the top 1%. Now, there's no direct translation from Twitch viewers to money. So for the sake of the example, we're going to say you reach level 1 at around 100 viewers. Once you're there, you can take the leap to streaming full time, which getting there sounds totally reasonable.
That's a very fair assumption. I would agree with that. I think it really is an average. Because Twitch viewers is so fluctuative on income off subs, how many cyclical chatters you have, how many hours you're streaming, and how many ads you're running, that like to be able to stream full time, I would say you have to average between 60 and 150. It varies depending on audience. Like you could be a 60 viewer streamer and be full time, but like the average full time streamer that wants to make like 35K annually, you probably need like 120 viewers, and you probably need to stream like 50 hours a week.
It's not.
Which is more than a 9 to 5, but you're also sitting at a desktop.
How convincing 100 people to watch you live is brutal. In the past year, 18.4 million people opened up Twitch and broadcasted live on the platform. I want you to guess how many of them actually made it.
Wait. What did he just say?
How convincing 100 people to watch you live is brutal. In the past year, 18.4 million people opened up Twitch and broadcasted live on the platform.
18.4 million people streamed in the last year?
18.4 million people opened up Twitch.
Wow. 18.4 million people streamed. Not even watched a stream.
And broadcasted live on the platform. I want you to guess how many of them actually made it to level 1.
Actually made it to level 1. 100K. 18.4. Or did he say 8.4? He said 18.4 million people streamed last year. How many of them have 100 viewers? 100,000. I think there's probably 100,000 streamers that average over 50 viewers. Over 100, maybe 50K? 50K streamers? More? You think there's more than 100,000 streamers on Twitch with over 100 viewers? I don't know, man. There's so many spaces on Twitch. If you just scroll the gaming category, it's just like endless.
Seriously, throw a number out there. The answer is 165,000.
That's not that far off. I actually lowballed it.
500.
Yeah, 100 saying you're going to kill them or hurt them. Like, would that be a threat? Her being like, I'm going to kick you in your fucking balls?
You f***ing witch, on a switch. You want to my mouth, you dumpster? Set inside in blood.
Did she just say you want to come in my mouth?
My mouth, you dumpster. Set inside in blood. On Freeport and Wi-Fi on the haunted hotel in Chile. Come on outside down your pole.
What is she saying? She said you want to come in my mouth inside blood on free Wi-Fi. Then maybe go to Chili's and get a... then maybe go to Chili's, get a triple dipper together. head back to Hotel Inn, maybe have a nice night, watch a movie or two. Maybe, you know, things get a little freaky. And then the next day, we end up having breakfast for free because it is comped breakfast at the hotel. And we maybe get cinnamon buns, share some scrambled eggs, and then go on a nice day walk. It is sunny out, so she's like planning out so many different things.
On 13 orbits of teeth. You sucker. Son of a mother. We got bear there. I'm gonna climb it like a monkey.
Have a good night, guys.
I got a tank out back. Got goddamn keys put on my neck. Did you get my purse? Put it on ID on my ass track.
You don't need it.
I got shit to paint with.
Calm down.
It's jail, mother.
That's where you're going.
For Helen, too. Put Helen in jail. She experiences jail. And she experiences goddamn handcuffs.
You got her.
Handcuffs in goddamn jail.
What are you trying to do?
Put her in handcuffs.
I don't want to slip it.
And put her in jail. She rides and backs with me. You better process.
Okay, they're laughing. I was gonna say there's no way this entire video they never like smile. Like she's just screaming like nonsense obscenities at them and they're just like, you need to relax.
Okay.
No, you need to calm down.
Put Helen in the other goddamn car.
Start.
You put Helen.
Start knocking out some of the reports for me.
Well, get her ass in the car. You put Helen in the other goddamn car. Now. You're not picking up, picking. You're picking. I'm up with heavy. How much can you weigh? You want to unlock them so I can climb in? Okay, that's up in center. Let's play pretend.
Get on that side over here, man. All right, come on.
Oh, she's refusing to get up now and she said I'm pretty heavy. Good luck.
I'm leg and a half in a wheelchair. I can't. I'm leg in a wheelchair.
Stand
I
up.
my arms. I do. I'm a wheelchair.
Okay, well stand
I'm
up.
paraplegic. I can't.
Stand up.
I'm handicapped. I can't. I have a wheelchair. Handicap accessibility.
We know you can walk.
She just said, is she trying to say that her legs don't work and she needs a wheelchair? She just walked fucking multiple stories into an elevator, down the steps.
I legally can't.
Stand up.
You dropped me on the goddamn floor. I fell. I had hands to get up.
Paraplegic, she just walked casually out of the fucking room.
This is illegal. Racism. I'm a handicapped woman and I fell. You have to give me arms to see under the handicapped woman. Give me a wheelchair.
Oh, we're just throwing out every possible thing. I'm handicapped. This is ableist. You guys are racist. I'm having a seizure. You're not helping me.
Give me a wheelchair.
Or said racism. Dude, I feel like it's very often that people fake. Did you ever see that one TikTok of the woman faking a seizure? And the cop was like, I know you're faking it. And she kept like acting like she was seizing. So he gave her like a sternum rub, which is like a test to see if somebody that is, if they're seizing. Because if they are seizing, they don't react, but a sternum rub hurts. He instantly starts like elbowing her sternum. She's like, ah! And fucking like immediately reacts to it. She's like, okay. He just gives up. Dude, because it's like, why is that the go-to? We've seen so many videos where people fake seizures. Like, why is that the... What's the idea there? You know, I kind of understand her being like, you guys are being racist or trying to claim something that she could maybe have the grounds of. But it's like, how are you going to fake having a seizure? They're going to be able to prove that you never had one.
There you go. God damn it. Okay, wait a minute. Okay.
Thank you.
So.
Slide in there.
Don't cross my feet.
It's like the easiest to fake. I feel like you don't know what seizures are. Like, if you're around cops, EMTs, paramedics, and like trained professionals, from an outside perspective, yeah, seizure looks like somebody is just violently shaking. Like, their entire bodies are seizing. They're not responsive to anything, right? Like, it's not easy to fake.
Okay.
You don't just start, like, violently shaking. That's what they always do. I'm like, it's not, like, a seizure is a lot more than that. Like, your entire body is convulsing violently.
I need to breathe.
Okay, slide in there. Roll it on the window.
You know how hard is in a wheelchair?
It's not that for real. What do you mean not that hard?
This was unnecessary. Slide your feet in there.
Not Helen.
I'm annoyed.
I'm gonna watch you. We're not playing pretend.
Get in the car now.
I can't. I gotta catch my leg.
Get in the car.
I can't get my left leg in without you smashing it. You're gonna have to help me with my left leg in because you're gonna smash into the board.
Sit up there on the seat where you
I
was.
can't because I don't have both hands. I'm short. I'm the mutant deform. I'm a turtle. You got it.
Why is she so calm now? Did she just say I'm a mutated, I'm a turtle?
Backpack and you wrap my arms to a backpack. I'm a turtle and you wrap my arms to a backpack. Can you wrap them in front, please, to my titties?
No.
Then how am I supposed to back up?
Come on. Stand up.
Lay me down.
Get in there now.
I'm trying, but you're gonna break my wrist. You would really break my wrist.
Come on.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me
Trying to help you.
Let me stand
Scoot on
slow.
your butt
Do it
into the
slow.
into
Do
the
it slow.
seat.
Don't do it mean I'm supposed to be. I might have win.
Ready? 1, 2.
You're gonna break my wrist. You will break my wrist.
Get up there.
God damn it! Your metal will break my wrist.
Get
I'm
up there.
deformed and I'm wheelchair.
Get in. There you go. Now pull your leg in.
That hurt. Good job. I'm a Teenage Mutant Turtle, and you can't put handcuffs behind me because I'm a handicapped little toad. I put them in the front of titties because I'm handicapped.
Because she's a handicapped Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, she needs her handcuffs in front of her boobs instead of behind her back.
By law.
Sonya.
Self-defense lawyer now. You are the worst goddamn witch people I ever met in my goddamn life. The worst humans in my goddamn life. And I can train a dog to protect somebody from a human before a human can drive a goddamn car without hitting me. And the mother titty. I was just telling them don't open my goddamn government mail check. It's a government phone, the only phone I had. I got it. I worked hard to get it. I ordered it, and in 17 days I got it, and guess what? In 3 days I got my truck, and I did so much in that short amount of time. I left my house one goddamn time, and they destroyed my motherfucking wallet with my money, and did 2 of everything in my wallet. And one time I left my door unlocked and trusted you stupid motherfuckers. 911 ain't worth no with a 1-0 to spell a goddamn name on a piece of plastic without shooting me in the forehead, you f***ing Barney 5 piece of shit in America. I've been in my house for 7 months. I went to jail 3 times. I went to Psych 7 times for crazy Sonya on a 5-letter word. Flipping 4 pennies in between my
What is she saying?
4 fingers, you son of a...
She's saying in the last 7 months she went to jail 3 times. I genuinely believe that all 3 of those times were because she called a complaint on somebody and then just violently crashed out for hours on end to the point where it was like, hey, you're disturbing the peace.
And I got 2 veteran sons, you piece of shit. And these 2 veteran sons, you piece of shit. And they...
What do you think she said that? No, don't type. No. You will get banned. 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 Don't be a stupid fucking chatter, please.
These rocks has a plane with 2 big guns that salute me in the eye, and I flip off in the air. You can't in my teeth in a slide dumpster of mud, you piece of shit. And your metal jail cell is more comfortable than a goddamn naked sleeping little painted.
Dude, there has not been a breath where she hasn't talked. Like, she had, for the entirety of these 10 minutes, even when she wasn't on camera, she was screaming. Like, she has not stopped speaking for a half hour.
Xbox, little painted concrete pad, and the goddamn landing of Columbus, where they put their airplane for your whole goddamn state. For your whole...
Is she relating what happened to her to Columbus discovering / overthrowing the people in the United States? Like, is she relating the, I guess, forced removal of Native Americans to what's happening to her right now?
Motherfucking state of Ohio!
Like, I'm trying to, like, dude, I feel like I'm solving a riddle, like, listening to her. Like, she goes one idea to the next in the same sentence.
On a circle piece of paper and a pencil. So if you ain't a piece of pencil paper that says Ohio with an O in a circle, you can suck my balls, orgies, orifice, mouth, teeth, and eyeballs and put it through my eye. And ask me the surface of my black to white to the veins of my eyeballs. Cause you are a piece of shit! There's no phone to call for fire. There's no phone call to call for police. Or please help me in English with PLZ. Or no, or yes. No, don't open my mail, and yes, arrest me, and take me straight to a goddamn airplane, and get me the f away from an American. Take me to Columbus Air.
Okay, can I say this is actually impressive that she's able to ramble this continuously? Like, I don't know if I could, because she's saying a lot of different things. Like, I don't know if I could consistently speak just words that long. Like, it's not like she's just repeating the same word. She'll sometimes repeat the same sentence or idea, but it's like, dude, she's just, it's not even thought to words. It's just simultaneously anything she's thinking, she's just saying.
Away from a goddamn American.
She's gerrymandering.
Get me the f away from America. You son of a white honky tonk. Goosey A to B, 1 to Z. Can't get a lawyer with a goddamn dollar quarter with a head on it, with 2 pieces of metal in between your finger, bottle caps up, print a coin, and you can't hit a gumball machine in a candy shop to earn a lollipop in your mouth to suck at you.
No, nah. This is like, dude, I don't even know what she's saying, but I'm like, damn, she's actually kind of spitting right now. I thought she was going to start rhyming when she was saying A to Z.
Lollipop in your 2-year-old's mouth, you fucking. And then pick another room to take and slip and slide blood out your wife's teeth. And then blood or eyeballs, and that's going to look at you again funny. You piece of sucking. Now, have you been offended as an American? Me too! I don't want to be here! Take me.
What do you think the cop's thinking in his head while he's driving? I'm wondering if he's like annoyed or smiling. Because it could be either. Like the fact that he hasn't responded to her and he's just let her ramble nonstop for effectively 6 minutes straight.
In Africa, you sucking monkey. You racist honky. Get me the f out of here, you sucking piece of shit. Come on, manhandle me like you did last time in a wheelchair. Manhandle me and throw me all over there. You don't know the dog, a cat, or a piece of fish to go fishing. Nothing but metal to scream. And water until it goes to air. And no water.
Alright.
Are you going to get me to Africa?
Bro, this woman has no idea what's going on. Bro, they open the door. Are you all right? Are you going to take me to Africa? That's the first thing this person is experiencing. Oh, my God.
Cruisers can send up.
Getting thrown into an hour and a half out of a 3-hour movie.
You able to get out?
Just in the midst of it.
I got arrested for filing charges on how it opening my goddamn mouth.
Alright, well, we'll get on. Come on.
You need to unlock the back and put him in the front. I'm a handicap in a wheelchair.
Are you able to walk?
No.
We're gonna get you out here. We're gonna check you out, okay?
You guys have abused
Oh, my God, they're going to get her a wheelchair?
me so much I'm going to Africa.
We're not gonna abuse you. We're gonna get you out here so we can have the nurse check you out, okay? I just need you to calm down. I know you're stressed out.
No shit, I'm upset.
I know you are.
You know what I went through to get a government phone?
But I just need
17 signatures of government assistance.
What's your first name?
And someone opened the goddamn cell.
What's your first name?
Government knows everything you do. On every number you do. And she
All right, no, it is actually kind of seeming more like a paranoia or schizophrenic episode or something. Like she feels like everybody's after her in some way. No, I wouldn't say meth. Yeah, it's like a level of like psychosis or like extreme paranoia. Like that's nothing. The rambling she was doing, I feel like she knew didn't make sense. But like the other stuff with the package, she like genuinely believes that like these people are out to get her.
Oh.
Here, slide towards me.
God damn it.
Our hands are bracing your back, You're okay? good. I got you. You're able to shimmy over.
You know what I did last time you were in a wheelchair?
All right,
the wheelchair's out here, okay?
we're gonna shimmy over, all right? All right, scoot yourself over, okay?
Stand on right.
Here, yes.
I have prints on that.
All right, lean back, okay?
The woman was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct. If she is convicted, what do you think the punishment should be?
Bro, to fucking get help. I don't think she should get jail time for that. She didn't hurt anyone. She's just being a nuisance. Like, she needs genuine help, man. Like, I don't know. She might not have schizophrenia, or she might not be in a psychosis state or something, but like regardless, bro, yeah. She isn't entitled, she's nuts. Yeah. I don't think she's entitled. I think she would be entitled if this was like in some rich Hollywood fucking neighborhood and she was acting this way. Like, she seems like a very average individual that is now just losing it. Can we pause so I could pee? Isn't that the point of jail? Jail does not fix you in any way. Like, there's multiple arguments to be made that jail and prison, if anything, make you a repeat criminal more than actually helping you. Modern U.S. prisons and jail are less about, I guess, helping you in, getting back on your feet when you get out, and more about punishment. And I think there's an argument for both, but rehabilitation is, like, some countries focus prison and jail time heavily on rehabilitation, others on punishment. I think there needs to be a middle ground, but to, like, in instances where people are going through episodes like this, if you just threw her in prison or jail, that's not fixing anything. Like, they're not, like, yes, there might be, like, instances where she could get help in certain ways, but a lot of the time that doesn't happen, and then people leave less prepared for society than when they came in. Especially if they're younger. She's different because she looks like she's like 40, but when you're like 17 to 25 and you get arrested, and then you go to jail and you come out, now you're like ill prepared for society because you didn't know how to do anything when you went in, and now you're older and you're supposed to know how to do all these this, and this, pay your taxes, do insurance, fucking get a job, do this. Some people do that and are able to do that, but you're still kind of leaning into society and leaning on, I guess, the pillars and support system you have until your mid-20s. Like, it's not uncommon for people to be living with their parents or having their parents help them, not necessarily financially, but just like with life tasks into their mid-20s. And so when people end up getting locked up in that time frame, and then they don't get help and aren't prepared, then it makes them more likely to repeat crimes because they don't know what the fuck to do. Wait, am I really I gotta fly out 6 hours to show up for 3 and then leave and fly back?
Mr. Beast tweeted you? Oh, yeah, I talk.
I'd rather just stream. Like, is that fucked to say? Like, I appreciate being nominated, but I'm just not gonna go to LA. Like, I'd rather just stream. Like,
yeah, I can't even go on.
It's different if it's like a big event, like Streamer Games I almost did last year, and this year I would love to do if he does it again, where it's like the Olympics, and it's like 3 days of athletic events. It's like that I could reason in my head to be like, okay, yeah, I'll spend 3 days flying versus, okay, I'm going to fly out for a red carpet event, sit in a room full of streamers, get drunk, and then fly home.
Mr. Beast video due to fear of airplanes. Ain't that bad, chat?
According to the
It'd be worth a video, but I'm not getting a video out of it. It's all copyright. It's all what do you mean I'm getting a video out of it? I can't re-upload that.
Blueprint, all of those things just come with the territory of being in the...
Streamer Games could be worth a video. Streamer Games, I could show up, fucking, eat shit on a track field, have like a funny highlight moments, and react to myself running. But like...
Top 1%.
Streamer Awards, it's not really...
But Queso is avoiding all of it. And when you stack it all up, not going to award shows, turning down the collabs, even the fact that he's only left the state of Arkansas once...
Great GamerStop's flavor. That was Goof Juice. I know it when I see it.
Even the fact that he's only left...
Code Bart!
The state of Arkansas once, you start to wonder if there's more to it than just not caring.
Chat, I didn't tell y'all this, bro. When I was changing setups to go from the trap house into the trailer, I was literally a mental wreck for like a week straight. Because I don't know if anybody else has this, but dude, I have like some form of horrific OCD that I've had for years, that if something even minor changes, I'm gonna die.
You see, OCD is one of the most misunderstood conditions out there. People hear the word and picture
like he's gonna die, like physically, like cease to exist.
someone who just likes things clean and organized. And while that can be a part of it, that's not exactly what it is. At its core, OCD is anxiety. For Queso, moving into a new house meant moving into an environment that was full of variables his brain hadn't had the chance to map out yet.
Like when I take my hat off and put it on the counter, same spot every night. If it goes in a different spot, I'm dead.
Everything becomes unpredictable, and for someone
Wow, that really explains why he hasn't left the state, though.
with OCD, an unpredictable environment is one thing that can't be controlled. Each unknown stacks on top of the last until his brain is sent into overdrive.
Chad, here's some lore for you. Every time I would leave to work in the morning, I would go outside my house and I would have to check that my doorknob was locked 37 times.
37 times? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like just like feeling it lock?
I would have to start my drive to work, take a block back around to my house and check it another 11 times. And then I could...
Wow, that's like extreme OCD. I did not know he had that.
Which explains why his setup has barely changed over the years. It's one of the places where his brain already knows the answers to
Maybe a little exaggeration? Maybe, but I feel like most of his stories are like full for real.
all the questions. It's his rules at his pace, all in an environment that makes him most comfortable. But that need for predictability doesn't stay contained to his house. It follows him everywhere.
I went out in public 3 times in a row. I got recognized all 3 times. I never went outside again, bro. Like some people, bro, came up like, hey, yo, can I get a picture? Everybody started looking. I'm like, oh, man.
Bro, I don't dislike when I get recognized. I dislike when somebody recognizes me and then they just stare at me for extended periods of time or like tail me at a grocery store. That shit's creepy, bro. Just walk up to me. The amount of times I have motherfuckers huddle in a group staring at their phones and going, I just walk up to them. I go, hey, you know me? Like, let's get this weird shit over with. Like, I'm just going to break because either I'm going to sit there for another 30 minutes before one of them walks up to me, or I'm just going to walk up to you and go, you know who I am. And I'm not rude when I say it. I'm like, hey, I go, you know who I am? They go, yeah. I go, I'm just trying to break this. Because they make eye contact with me. They know I'm staring at them.
And dude,
the only time I really get tweaked out is when I'm like super high. Super high. They walk up to me, Joe Bart. I go, oh no.
I was about to
Oh no.
pass out.
And then I'm gonna have a really awkward conversation. And one of these, oh, it was nice meeting you. And I think about that for about 5 minutes.
Outside of that room, he controls nothing. Who's around him, how they got there, whether someone grabs his shoulder before he sees it coming. None of it is up to him.
I don't go out in public. I don't. Never.
When he's at home, it's easier to manage because, well, he's in his own house. But in public, there's no way to make the unknown stop. It's not only uncomfortable, but also insanely overwhelming.
You would have a better chance of actually winning the Powerball lottery than ever seeing me in public. That's how rare it is. No.
Bro, but that's so sad. It's like, bro, he has money to spend, you know? I feel like it's sick if he's able to, like, go and see shit, do shit. Fuck.
No joke.
The blueprint says the path forward revolves around a constant
Fix your hair. That's worse. See, you fucked it up even more, jackass. Now it's gonna sit like that.
state of evolution. The more you change, the newer things are, the more excited people are to watch.
What do you want my hair to be, like a perfect bullet? Like it's a Lego haircut? Just like right onto my head.
But for Queso, that path has never really been accessible the same way it is for everyone else. And yet, here he is.
Literally almost 1,000 away from 10 million.
Oh, the cooking
Say
stream.
it ain't so. This is a moment in history? No, this is a moment in history.
Behind everything, the awards, the numbers, the journey from a rice mill to the #3 spot on Twitch, almost nothing has actually changed.
You
0.01.
definitely gonna do this full time? Hey, I hope.
I don't understand how he was live.
Bro, CJ, that'd be a dream come true for you, boy, man. Maybe my parents don't have to work no more either. That'd be a dream come true too, bro.
He's been grounded in the fact that streaming was never about being the very best. It was always about building a life worth living, for himself and for the people he loves.
Wait, Mom, we're about to hit 10 million. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. We about to hit 10 million!
I gotta turn this off. Come on.
No way we're actually about to hit it. We hit 10 million, baby!
His mom was there before any of this
That
made
is so sweet.
sense.
She brought me some balloons in here. Yo! She brought me some balloons. Balloons. You can't see it. Get a pose in there with it.
Before all of the awards and money, before tens of thousands of people were waiting for him to go live, she was the
Oh my god, that's so sweet.
only one who pushed him to try streaming in
Oh
the
my god, that's like a happy cry moment, bro. That's so nice.
first place.
That's a dadgum
And his mom being so proud of him.
diamond play button. You've had this? What? It wouldn't be possible without y'all, Chad. And you know who else it wouldn't be possible without? My mom. Come stand in front of the camera. Look at that.
And his dad, the man who spent his whole life doing the kind of work nobody claps for.
My dad, for example, like, dude, his whole life just working. He's had multiple back surgeries, multiple wrist surgeries, multiple foot surgeries, all from just working his whole life.
The man he watched and worked alongside with do it with no
Bro,
complaints.
that's the biggest thing about manual labor, man. Like, especially like union work, like the money could be pretty good, but your body's gonna be fucked by the time you're like 50, dude. Anybody that's worked in like the electricians union, carpentry, construction, it's like you could do that and then you just have so many like you have the body of like a 70-year-old when you're 50.
I worked with my dad. We were both maintenance men. Maintenance ain't easy work. You know, you're crawling
HVAC shit,
under sinks, you're changing faucets, you're crawling up in attics, you know, all that, just nasty.
The same man that taught him how to work was eventually the one who told him to quit his regular job and do what he loved.
I remember the night we hit 5,000. I was like, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna call my boss. I remember I got him to call because I was scared. Like, hey, boss, you know, I'm playing video games for a living. But it'd sound better coming from my dad because, you know, my dad was essentially like his right-hand man. Yep. But yeah.
So when streaming became a reality,
Bro said electricians. Yeah, if you're like not like if you're the dude standing on the side of the road flipping a sign, but like electricians that are like climbing in walls, wiring shit. That's pretty rough.
he made sure that the two...
All right, maybe it was a bad example comparable to like carpenters or like fucking construction. You know what I mean?
two people who spent their lives building
Why
up.
are we dissing electricians? Is there like a union? Is there like a trade beef with electricians or some shit? Oh no, they got it easy.
Never had to work again.
What has been like the most fulfilling thing that you've run into in your career?
Just that everybody gets to chill.
Yeah.
And they have to get away from the jobs they hated and everything like that, and we can all just chill and do this. That's the best thing. Look at her say they're retired because they do it because you know they don't want to just chill and do nothing. They do a lot of stuff for me. Like my dad, if I need something to go get or something, he goes and gets it. My mom handles all.
Well, it's still a purpose. It's like they've been effectively retired from their job, but now they kind of like are mini assistants to Queso. You know what I mean?
All the background, like all of it.
If you ask Case, that's the whole story right there. In a world where overnight success has a way of quietly hollowing people out, Queso never let any of it change him.
The only thing I want to be is a place for people to go for 4 hours a night, forget about life, you know, crack some jokes, you know, have a good time, and just chill out.
And that's why this story isn't over. Queso has already crossed the line that mattered the most. He turned his dream into real life. He helped his family stop working. He became the place he always wanted to be for others. So whatever happens next is just the icing on the cake.
That was an amazing video. That was a good ass watch, bro. Oh my cinema. Oh, fucking golf cart W fucking YouTuber dude too. They put that together amazingly. Queso's greatest trait is this humility. It's like a regular person you want to be friends with. Yeah, he seems like a lot of streamers. It's like, oh, you kind of seem like just like a figure versus like Queso's just like a guy you'd see in a store. Mortician answers burial questions from Twitter. Hi, my name is Button. He doesn't talk like that. We've seen this guy before. Morticians freak me out a little bit. I'm not being rude to this guy. I love this guy. You know, I've seen his videos before. It's just like, you know, it's just like such casual talk about like, yeah, so I remove the organs. I remove their organs, then I pump them. I drain their blood.
I'm Victor M. Sweeney, licensed funeral director.
Victor. Victor is such a cool name for a mortician.
And I'm here today to answer questions from Twitter. This is burial support. DZ1B21. Why the different shapes of caskets? Typically in the United
We got motherfuckers with wide bodies. You got motherfuckers with skinny bodies. You might need to buy an extra large casket for a motherfucker. You ain't know he got wide shoulders, you know? You might need an extra tall casket. Somebody got a wide body, not this way, but this way, you know? When I saw my grandpa's casket, it looked kind of normal. He kind of looked shrunk. I don't know if the blood draining did anything, but like, I don't know. The way they had that motherfucker when I was looking at him, I was like, you're like about like 5'9". He looked about like 6'1" when he was not dead.
body, we talk about a casket. A casket is rectangular. Oftentimes in other parts of the world, you're going to see what's called a coffin. So a coffin is what we might call anthropoid shape, narrower at the top where the head is.
I still can't get over the fact that in parts of Hong Kong, you rent a burial site and then they exhume your body after like 6 months and then burn you. I'm like, what's the point in getting buried?
Is wider at the shoulders and then narrow down at the feet. Other countries around the world tend to use coffins, and we use the term,
what if I'm built thick?
Even colloquially here in the United States. So when you hear someone talk about grandma's in the coffin, odds are good she's in a rectangular casket. Lamia 233, can you spread ashes anywhere? Or are there legal restrictions on that? This is such a good question, and it's one I'm asked all the time. Typically, a state does not really have a vested interest on what you do with human cremated remains. So you could scatter them essentially anywhere you like. In my state, a family has visitation.
I'm just in the middle of middle of the Super Bowl. Woo! Yeah!
Rights where a person is scattered.
It's like everybody's like, oh, is it snowing?
So if you scatter grandma in the bed of her garden, you end up with visitation rights to that flower bed in perpetuity. You can also do other things with cremated remains.
Wait, what? If I've spread ashes somewhere, I get to go there forever?
You can have them made into jewelry. You can buy small keepsake urns. I've heard that you can press them into records. There are all sorts of things that you can do with cremated remains because they are simply pulverized.
Not funny, Joe. Everybody dies, man.
And they're inert carbons. Everything that is organic in them is gone. It's not going to feed a tree, as people commonly like to think, but you can do with them mostly whatever you wish. Here's a question from Plucky Duckling. Are funeral pyres and Viking funerals a thing anymore? There is one place, Crestone in Colorado, that does allow a funeral pyre. So that does exist, but you have to
I would love to get that shit, bro. Isn't that where they light your body on fire?
live in a very specific locale. A funeral pyre, as we're thinking of it here, is usually a large pile of wood or other flammable material that a body is set on top of, and then the whole thing is set alight. As far as Viking funerals, this is kind of a misnomer. You're probably thinking of,
yeah, where they float you out on a ship,
of putting your loved one in a boat with their hands on the pommel of their sword and pushing them out into the lake, shooting flaming arrows at it until it goes up in flames. Viking funerals actually weren't like that. They were buried with their sword in boats and all sorts of grave goods, but the boat was dragged on land and buried intact. Here's a question from Signature. Why do people take photos of the dead in a casket at funerals and post it on social media? Please stop doing that.
Yeah, that shit is weird. See that shit on Facebook, just a picture of a dead body, bro. Like, yo, what are we doing? I feel like, and it's also like, you're not living in the fucking funeral, bro. Like, you're there to mourn. Why are you posting that shit on Facebook? Look at the dead body. People do that? Not often. But yeah, there's people that fucking do that.
Interesting thing, in most places, the right to take a picture of the deceased falls to the family. So they can either allow it or disallow it. But I agree.
Yeah, if you're the direct family member, who gives a shit, right? Like, it's up to you. It's your you know, family's funeral. You get to decide. But like, I do think that's odd to be like walking past the funeral in the line, or the casket in the line, and you're just like, rip. Post that to the story.
Don't put it on social media. That's something that should be kept just for your own personal use. Next up, we have a question from Stan Combe Wills. Who gets to decide who gets invited to my funeral? The short answer is your family. They can decide who will come, and likewise, who is not allowed there. Fun fact, you do not need an invitation to attend a funeral. You can just show up. Funeral crashing is a thing. There was a gal that I used to
Damn, bro, that's fucked up. Yo, crashing a wedding's one thing. You pulling up to a funeral and being like, he was a great man. Could I talk? Could I give a speech? Video idea? Yeah, funeral crashing.
You know, back at one of the funeral homes I worked with, her first name was Bunny, and Bunny would come to every funeral, regardless of denomination and location, and I am certain she didn't know that many people. She came for those sweet, sweet scalloped potatoes and ham. Our next question.
Oh, she came for the food? I thought I could see people that just go to funerals because they like watching that for some reason, you know? Like the spiritual process of like people mourning. Like there could be somebody that like enjoys that.
Question is from Nate Bones. How come cemeteries never run out of space? Sometimes cemeteries...
Been asking that shit, bro. Been asking that. When's it acceptable to dig up a motherfucker from the 1600s? Never? I'm just, at some point, we're going to run out of space. They're doing it in China already. In Hong Kong, they dig up motherfuckers and they burn them. Right? Or then they put you in a box. Like, at some point, we're going to run out of land. You know, a bunch of dead bodies where you start stacking them on top of each other. I mean, that's why they have, what are they called? Crypts. They have crypts now where you're in a drawer. You're buried, but you're in a drawer. So I could see, like, at some point, there literally being just a building full of dead bodies.
Do run out of space. In larger metropolitan areas, sometimes it's the case where families will actually bury their loved ones on top of existing graves. In certain other countries and in other parts of the world...
What?
Graves. In certain the case, sometimes cemeteries do run out of space. In larger metropolitan areas, sometimes it's the case where families will actually bury their loved ones on top of existing graves. In certain other countries and in other parts...
So they're double stacking a tomb?
...of the world, you actually just rent a grave space. So for instance, in Germany, your grave space is not your mom's or dad's forever, but for a period of years, after which your rent expires, they dig up the dead, and they put them elsewhere in a common grave, usually. Here's a...
Why are we renting a grave then? I don't get, like, if you're getting buried, isn't it supposed to be a permanent resting space? They gotta dig you up. They gotta dig you up when you don't make rent. And what is a common grave? A place in the ground where multiple unrelated dead bodies are buried.
From Dr. Bumforfire, what is sky burial? Sky burial is a practice that takes place in Tibet or Nepal, where bodies are actually left out and hacked apart for condors and vultures to eat. The way that they render a human body to just bones is by letting animals do the work. We have a...
I kind of fuck with that. I've always said, I don't think I want them to hack me to pieces. I think you just chuck my ass in the ocean. Not off a pier, you know, drive out 10 miles, throw my dead body in the water. Throw my dead body in the water, tie my ankle to a cinder block, and then the fish will eat me.
Question here from Teaspoon. Do funeral homes have busy times of the year, or is it just dead all year? Fall and spring are going to be the busier times of year. Fall, because the weather change has something to do with there being more deaths. And spring is usually busier, especially where I'm from, where it's cold. We have a normal workload. And
more people die in the spring and the fall.
And then all sorts of burials that we had to delay over winter. That end stretch of winter into spring, when everything starts to melt, the ground is simply too soggy to even set foot in the cemetery, let alone bring a whole line of cars and a casket. From
fall and spring are the busier times. Fall because the weather change has something to do with there being more deaths. Spring is usually busier, especially where I'm from, because where it's cold, we have to do all the burials we had to delay over the winter.
From Kai Schwa. Why are funeral homes always family owned? Interestingly enough, more and more, we're seeing funeral homes get bought up by corporate entities. So it could be that you're...
On God, I'm hearing this motherfucker's tummy rumble. Listen.
We're seeing funeral homes get bought up by corporate entities.
I'm hearing his stomach grumble when no, it's not mine.
So it could be that your local funeral home, despite being called the Smith Family Funeral Home, is actually owned by a larger conglomerate who might operate 5, 6...
Somebody get this guy a Cliff Bar. Sorry.
Family Funeral Home is actually owned by a larger conglomerate who might operate 5, 6, 10 funeral homes in your area. I think you'll always find that the business where you know the owner and they live in your locality and they shop at your stores are generally going to be more caring and more transparent than the ones that are there simply to turn a profit.
Well, I mean, they're all there to turn a profit, but yeah, you're more open to people that are localized versus like, imagine like Amazon had a funeral home. You'd be like, okay, well, I don't really want to do that. You know, you'd rather go with somebody that's like local and actually gonna care. But at the same time, I think it'd be a cool rule to have all morticians have to walk around like Grim Reapers. Like they should have an aura that surrounds them and like a song that plays on like an organ. When they walk through, be like, yep, that's the guy that bleeds out the dead bodies.
From Harvey 180. So I'm completing my organ donation form. You can literally donate everything, including skin, bones, and tendons. So how do funerals work? Because there will be nothing to put in the box. Most organ
put googly eyes on my lids.
Companies, those procurers, they don't take everything. They'll take the femur, they'll take some.
They're not taking my lungs.
Of the muscle. They might even skin the whole thing so it looks like one big nasty roast beef. But then they also will.
What?
Everything. They'll take the femur, they'll take some of the muscle. They might even skin the whole thing so it looks like one big nasty roast beef. But then they also will provide us with a large wooden dowel that's the exact shape of the femur. So we can kind of rebuild the shape of the leg. From Amy Bell. How do you talk?
They'll skin my entire body.
To hear from parents who have tackled this tough topic. Probably my best piece of advice for parents.
His stomach, bro. Oh my God. On God, I'm hearing his stomach.
Love to hear from parents who have tackled this tough topic. Probably my best piece of advice for parents when they talk to kids about death is don't say, it's like grandpa fell asleep. I think little kids can conflate the two. I would say be honest with children about death. Tell them the reality that someone is no.
Yeah, dude, when the family dog dies, he just ran away. He's going somewhere else to play with other dogs. Your grandpa shot him in the head.
No longer living. Kids typically, I think, have a better handle on death. And really, especially elementary school age children, I think they have a want to be involved when they come to a funeral. There's so many times where I see families come and they
ain't get that shit though. They don't understand that shit. That's why it's like, because they're not actually mourning, bro, because they don't understand it. If you're like 6 and somebody dies, did you ever go to a funeral when you were like 7 years old? Bro, none of that shit makes sense. None of that shit makes sense. I remember I went to a funeral when I was probably 7 years old. I was going to say 6 or 7, but probably 6 or 7. And it was like my great aunt. And I was just like, I want to go home. I remember that. Obviously, I wasn't that close to them, but I remember not understanding the gravity of it and being like, this is boring.
Kind of shuffle the kids off somewhere else and say that death is for adults. But really, death affects every single one of us. Here's a question from Curl Girl.
No, true. I just think it's like, I think kids don't understand it as much. Like, I mean, at what age are you able to understand death in a real way? Like a 6-year-old's not understanding death like that. Like, maybe they understand the concept of somebody being dead and not coming back. But I think, like, yeah, maybe when I was like, there was a funeral I had to go to when I was like 10 or 11. Like, I think like when I was like 11, I would probably get the idea fully of like, oh, this is very sad. Like, the mourning process.
62. What is a green burial? So there are a lot of things on the green spectrum that we can do with funerals. It could be something like we bury the body without a casket and without a vault, straight in the ground. It could cover something like having what we call recimation or decomposition instead of cremation. It could be something like using.
We figured it out, Chad. It's the chair. It's not him. When he leans back, it grumbles. He's on a bad Staples chair.
A wooden casket instead of metal, or even using what they call eco-embalming fluids. So embalming fluids made out of methyl alcohols instead of carcinogens like formaldehyde. All right, here's a really good question from Caterade. It is too cold to go for a walk, so I went to the mausoleum, as one does. Why anyone would want to spend eternity in a safe deposit box is beyond me. One distinction to make, mausoleum generally refers to a large.
Why is your ass giving a fuck? Why would anybody want to spend eternity here? They're not there. It's where they want their dead body to be.
Large building that houses full caskets above the ground. Another thing that looks similar to a mausoleum is what we might call a columbarium. These are typically standalone structures above the ground that have shelves, or what we call niches, to place urns. So mausoleums are for caskets, and columbaria are for urns. Oftentimes when I talk to families that have entombments rather than burials in the ground, usually their primary concern is water. If you're along a body of water, like a lake or a river, maybe spending eternity in a wet cooler is worse than spending it in a safety deposit box. Next, we have a question.
Bro, I never understand when they put like, it's like a tomb cover on your tomb, right? To prevent like worms and leakage and shit. And I'm like, why does that matter? Right? Like, you're going to be buried here forever, right? You're going to rot. The worms are going to eat you. And you're going to be a skeleton. Your tomb's going to break and crack. You've said this before. I know. But it's like, why does it matter if the worms eat you in a year or 10 years? You're dead.
Question from Brain Rot Batty. Had to break up a fight at the funeral home today. Why y'all swinging on each other? I have had to break up a couple fights at funerals or go into dad mode and scold some people. It's a highly emotional situation. Sometimes there are a lot of unresolved issues between the deceased and their family, or maybe other members of the family. Talk about inheritance.
Yeah, fake-ass motherfuckers coming into the funeral just to fucking be there to show face because they just want money from the will, and rather than actually giving a shit about the person that died. I could see that. I could see full-on fist fights starting at a funeral so easily. Just because it's like, dude, you know, people are going to come out of the fucking works that you haven't heard of in years, man.
Those things can be a mess. Our next question is from Bob White. Are funeral expenses tax deductible? The short answer to that is no. Here's a question from S.J. Jarowski. Why are Irish wakes always so loud and poppin'? It's actually one of those things that led me into funeral service in a way. I'm from an Irish family and we're very proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the type of funeral, right? Like, some people perceive, it's like some cultures, some people perceive death as something to be, like, sad and mourning of, and some perceive it as, like, a celebration of life.
But when my grandma Sweeney died, my cousins smuggled in a whole bunch of coolers of booze into the funeral home, and all the older ones proceeded to get absolutely wild. But seeing people have fun at a funeral and kind of embrace life at a funeral was one of those things where I saw it as a young man and realized that a funeral doesn't have to be entirely dour.
I think that you want a mixture, right? I think the proceedings at a funeral itself, where people are sharing their, you know, thoughts on the person's life, is inherently a sad time. But I think having a mix of mourning, understanding the death, and not moving on, but like having that time to be like, this is like a sentimental special thing where we're all, you know, talking about this person that's died. And then the aftermath not being just gloom and doom and being like, all right, let's have a good time, have some games, fucking have some drinks, share some stories about the person, and, you know, enjoy it, right? And you're going to go between like laughing, crying. It's a mixture, right? Mourning's weird, right? Like, that's just how it is.
Our friend GB. So really, there are professional mourners, people getting hired to cry at funerals? That does exist in some cultures, and it does exist right here in the United States.
Oh, that's very weird. What? You could pay to have somebody come to your funeral and cry? Like fake cry?
Cultures put a premium on outward expressions showing how much we loved the dead. In Ireland, for instance, they have what are called keeners. So it's a particular type of musical lilting wail. I don't know if I'd want to hire professional mourners for my own funeral. I would kind of like the idea that people can show their emotions. I think that is a very good thing, and maybe it's the case that having those professional mourners kind of move those sorts of emotions forward. Here's a question from M.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be like, I don't even know that guy. That's John. We just paid him $1,000 to fucking show up and cry. Who is he? He doesn't even know him. He doesn't even know the guy. What? I would get mad. That's how I'd get in a fist fight. I'd tell that dickhead to leave. I'd be like, what do you mean? You don't know. What are you fucking all sad about, ass?
Extreme embalming a thing. Please make it stop. I kind of agree with you. It is wild. For those of you that don't know what extreme embalming is, typically that's referring to preparing a body in a lifelike vignette. So if he's a boxer, you have the gentleman propped up in the corner of a boxing ring. Or if your cousin is a gamer, we have her in a gamer chair holding an Xbox controller. If someone asked me,
Yo, they fucking, if I died and they put my body in the game, yo, bro. I'm just like, mid-com.
I could do it. It would take an awful lot of ingenuity, but I kind of agree. Make it stop. Here's a question from Power Slave. Why?
Oh my God, headset on. They cue me into a Marvel Rivals lobby. I'm just.
A lot less drab. I think the primary reason is oftentimes they're very old establishments. So they've been in a community for a very long time. You might hear the term funeral parlor when funerals moved out of a person's home, held in their parlor, and into somebody's business setting where everybody could gather and pay their respects. So when you have the prerequisite of being a parlor, you do tend to have 19th century accoutrements like big drapes and overstuffed chairs, and maybe some of those haunted mansion-esque things that you might think are creepy. Here's a question from Pal. Do morticians need to take a mental health and stability examination to get their certificate? And do you have free access to therapy? We do not have to take a mental health and stability exam. I do think something like that would actually be helpful in the future for people in my position. I also do not have free access to therapy. When you work around a great deal of death, you learn to kind of handle death. And I say handle because I've never really acted.
I mean, I'm also going to say that I think being a mortician would probably be less traumatic than being like an EMT or a paramedic. Like, just having to deal with dead bodies doesn't seem as bad to me as watching people die. Like, watching the light leave somebody's eyes that you're trying to save seems a lot worse on the mental than being like, here's an old person that had a heart attack.
It's so ever present in my daily life. It's a part of life that I'm really comfortable with. So in the same way you probably don't see OB nurses going through existential crises when babies are.
What about having to prepare a young child's body? That would be so sad. Yeah, what about being a paramedic and watching a kid get decapitated in a car crash? Like, you could have both scenarios be equally bad, right? Like, okay, what the fuck, Joe? I'm not, that's graphic. I know it's graphic. That's what paramedics deal with. Like, if you know a paramedic, that's not too far. I'm not making a joke. I'm making a fucking statement that, like, that job's hard, man. People don't talk about that.
I'm not going through existential crises when somebody dies. One in, one out, and I'm just here to help serve you guys. Lo Josimo. Why do people plan funerals before someone dies? Hashtag grandma's still kicking. I would say we're seeing more and more people pre-plan their funerals simply for the reason that people want things done the way that they want it. The best thing a person could probably do, short of talking to your local funeral home and doing formal planning, would be to write down what you want, at least the basics, whether it's cremation or burial or maybe a mix between the two. Write that down somewhere.
Yeah, usually in your 20s, well, you should write it down, but in your 20s, you're usually gonna make some sort of rough rudimentary will of like assets and then also wishes.
And make sure your loved ones have it. From Carly Star 82. Why are funerals so expensive? Feels like a scam. Usually when we're planning a funeral, there may be 3 subsections that a family has to pay for. The first one is professional services. That would include things like setting up the funeral and going to it and bringing a body from the place of death, maybe embalming the body or taking the body to the crematory. Another subsection would be merchandise. Things like a casket or an urn, maybe a burial vault. And then
yeah, but I feel like some of those cost so much money. And I know, bro, they got to be profiting off of it. I mean, that's what a funeral home is. Like, a funeral home is a business, right? They have profit margins. How much is an urn? I feel like they vary widely. $75 to $350. Not that bad. How much is a casket? $2,000 to $5,000. See, I mean, yo, put me in a cardboard box. $5 grand? $5 grand for a fucking casket.
The third section are what we call cash advanced items. So things like you're a gravedigger, your funeral lunch, flowers, newspaper obituaries, all the other odds and ends that are tangentially related to the funeral will get conglomerated into one big bill. So usually when a family receives, let's say, a $10,000 funeral bill, it will include part that goes to the funeral home, but a lot of it's going to be paid out to everybody else that participates to make the thing possible. Our next question is from SOS Fitness. Do funeral homes charge extra for plus-size coffins?
Yes.
The answer is yes. Being that there are more materials that go into a plus-size or what we call an oversized casket or coffin, means the price goes up. Here's a question from
that's not how it works with shoes, Mr. Victor. So why is it doing the same thing with caskets? Interesting. No, it's because usually, I think it's because the majority of dead bodies will fit in a casket unless you need a plus-size casket. Whereas, like, shoes, everybody has a different shoe size. But I have a shoe, like, if my shoe size is, like, 11.5, your shoe size is 5, me and you are still going to fit in the same fucking coffin. But now you have a guy that's 6'6" and 430 pounds. That guy needs to go in a special coffin.
Tyranny1. Is wearing black to funerals still a thing, or can I wear any neutral color? You can wear any color you want. I've had families where they want the funeral to be more of a celebration. I've had families come wearing all Hawaiian shirts, or all sports jerseys, or everybody wears purple because that's grandma's favorite color. Next up, we have a question from Saru Atik. How to write a eulogy? I'm not good with words. I actually had to give the eulogy at my best friend's funeral when he took his own life. And that's an extremely challenging thing. My goal with that was to talk about my friend's life, but then talk about kind of those universal values that we all share. So things like unconditional love and
yeah, you kind of want to relate back to the people that you're speaking, right? Like, when I spoke at my grandpa's funeral, like, I'm not gonna bring up my philosophical views, right? I'm not gonna air out on stage that I don't think he's in an afterlife. But what I said was along the lines of, like, praising him as a father figure in my life, and then relating back to the fact that his memory will live on within us, and I'll remember him in my own life until the day that I die, and then it's my time to be remembered, right? So it's like I'm still sharing my view, but something that's relatable to everyone regardless of what specific beliefs they have. And then it's just praising that person's life and, you know, showing that you know, are remembering them.
What he taught me about patience. Those are all universals that I think we
Yeah, teaching is a big thing, like a lesson you've learned.
Can all understand, and those are really, really good topics for eulogy. Here's a question from Return of the Goth. Is it a Southern thing to pull over out of respect for the dead for a funeral procession? Or do you all who are elsewhere do it too? It has always confused and irritated me. They're dead. I don't know them. I'm on my lunch break. Move it. It really depends on where.
You should pull over for a funeral proceeding of people. Does that make sense? Like, if I'm at a stoplight and they all got their flashing lights on and I could tell they're all a part of the same party, I'm going to wait for them. That's just respect. It doesn't matter if you don't know them because you're going to be in a similar situation as them. You're going to want them to wait for you, right? Like, I don't care. Like, I'll wait that 5 minutes.
Where you live in the country. Where I grew up in the state of Michigan, it was very customary when you saw a hearse go by, you pull over and let them through. Where I live now, that's not usually the case. In fact, I've been in trouble often enough for driving the hearse down the very middle of the road on the dotted yellow line to get people to pull over, only because I have a place to go too, and typically it's a little more time sensitive than your lunch break. Maybe instead of being irritated, you could think of it as a gift you could give to the family of your time. It's usually only a little bit.
I think it's a societal respect, you know? Even if you don't know, it's the same thing. You're basically saying I'm sorry for your loss silently by just having the common courtesy to fucking move out of the way, you know? Like this, they're all dealing with somebody that died. You don't know them, but like you're basically being like, oh, sorry, you know, let me move out of the way. Not make your day worse.
Why would you have a luncheon for a funeral anyway? Hashtag doesn't make any sense. There is something really nice about getting together after the fact when the work is done to just sit and relax and fill our bellies. I think Inside all of us, there is this certain caveman aspect. We bury our dead and we put them away for a time. And then we also gather together and eat and drink and make merry. And I found that having that opportunity to gather and to eat and to drink and to share is really, really valuable.
Yeah, bro. It's like the time you got to spend with everybody else, you know? I think that's like having the luncheon, having the stuff that's not sad after the sad funeral is nice because then you're able to share the time with the person that brought all of you together. Or it might even be the person that's the reason that you're alive, right? Like, that's one of the points that I made, like, in a eulogy. Like, if you're a descendant of somebody that died, one of the biggest things that you could always say that people just relate to is, like, hey, man, like, I wouldn't even be speaking at your funeral if you didn't exist. Like, obviously, my grandfather's not directly the reason that I'm alive, right? Comparable to my father and my mother. But, like, if he didn't exist, I wouldn't exist. Entitled Neighbor's Power Trip Backfires on Her Again. Lock in.
Joe! She experiences Joe! And she experiences goddamn handcuffs! Now have you been offended as an American? Me too! I don't want to be here! Take me to...
Is she purposefully, like, is she purposefully screaming like that? Or is this like a bit?
Africa, you sucking... Take me to Africa, you American. Me too! I don't want to be here! Take me to Africa, you sucking...
On April 15th, 2025 in Ohio, police were called...
Where in Africa? A little racist. Yeah, because you never actually... Where in Africa? I don't want to be in the United States anymore. Take me to Africa. That'd be like, I don't want to be in the United States anymore. Take me to South America. Take me to Europe. No, you would say a country.
Called when a woman insisted on pressing charges because her package was left at the wrong door.
I don't know what...
Pressing charges because her package was left at the wrong door? Oh my God. Chat, on Halloween, I ordered Burger King at the Airbnb I was at. And I already told y'all about how when I ordered the Uber, I was so drunk that I thought he left because I saw a car pulling away and I was calling him. And I was like, dude, you fucking left. We're right here. And then he walked right up to me and he's like, bro, I'm right here. And that was like really awkward. When we got back, I ordered Burger King and the guy dropped it off like 3 doors down. And I was, he drops it off at like 2 in the morning. And I like see on my phone that it arrived. I'm like, oh shit, I open the door, it's not there. I hear like people walking down the street and I immediately in my head go, they fucking took my Burger King. So barefoot, I ran in Kensington, PA down the street and turned the corner to see if these people had my fucking Burger King. And I'm like, I call the guy. I'm like, yo, where the fuck's my food? He's like, I dropped it off. I'm like, bro, I think somebody stole it. And he's like, well, I can't really. And then as I'm saying that, I walk back and I see it's on like a doorstep, like 4 over. I'm like, oh, you left it in the wrong place. Never mind. And I hung up on him. I didn't even let him respond to me. And then I just pick it up and ate it.
What's going on, man?
I don't know. She was yelling crazy shit and threatening her.
Okay. We'll see what the matter is.
You have a lampshade, a little wax plugged into the wall, a lock, a cord for the windows next door don't come in. Ring, ring.
Is this just me or does this not look like an apartment complex? This looks like a dormitory. Like the way these hallways are set up, like this feels. This doesn't. What is this? This doesn't feel like a fucking apartment.
You have a lampshade, a little wax plugged into the wall, a lock, a cord.
It's assisted living.
Windows next door don't come in. Ring, ring. Wired into the wall and a tiny house. Nothing in this goddamn house but windows closed.
Hello.
And a goddamn radio on.
Did you call?
She called.
Is it Helen that called?
Yes.
Okay.
But she's that upset. I mean, like, I would maybe get you getting more mad if you didn't live in an apartment and somebody dropped a package like 3 houses over, because like you would never know. But like you just walk out of your door and you're like, oh, it's right there.
Then,
Oh, it's right there.
yeah, across the hallway called too.
Okay. I talk to Helen just for a minute?
Yes.
And who's she going to press charges on? Amazon? Was she going to sue a $1 trillion corporation?
Hello, are you Helen? Yeah. You said the aide delivered a package?
FedEx or
Oh,
something.
okay, gotcha.
And they put it in front of my door.
Mhm.
And my aide just picked it up and brought it to me.
Your aide, okay,
and I
gotcha.
didn't look at it, and I just opened it, and I saw that it was for her.
Oh, she wants to press charges on this woman? That's not her fault. Have you guys ever opened somebody else's mail? You're not supposed to, but, like, they're not going to sue you. Like, there's so many instances where you get mail delivered to, like, the wrong apartment. Like, it'll be one over, or they put it in the wrong lockbox, and you open it. Because you're not thinking, you're like, oh, this is my mail. You open it, and it's like, Dear Richard. And you're like, oh, that's not me. Fucking put it back in.
Yeah.
It's illegal, but you're never going to get in trouble. It's illegal to open other people's mail if you're, like, going in their mailbox or their lockbox or their doorstep. Like, you don't read? Well, no, if I open my lockbox and it's in there, I'm assuming it's for me. You know? Like, I'm not going to go, oh, this is somebody else's mail. No, it's fucking my lockbox. So you open it, and then you go, oh, shit. And then you just put it back, and you probably know your neighbors, so you're like, this is for you. You don't read it. Like, I'm not going to fucking, eavesdrop their fucking bill or whatever, their mail. But you just see it's not for you.
I saw it was her. I took it to her.
Okay,
And I
no
told her,
problem.
I said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to open this. I didn't even look at it, Sonia. I said, Nancy brought it to me, and I didn't even pay attention.
And she's crashing out that hard, one door over. What do you think the mail was? It was from Bad Dragon. Then I'd maybe get the crash out. It's just like a fucking dragon fucking dildo. Like that, then I'd be like, oh shit. You weren't supposed to open that. But, like, if it's just, like, regular mail, why would you care?
And she didn't say anything then, but now she's going nuts.
It's just, like, really weird chemicals. That would be more concerning. It's like, oh, I didn't know this was mine. Why did you buy all the chemicals needed to, like, make meth?
She's been in the hall screaming because this is the third time.
But she has it in her apartment?
She threw it in the hallway and was trying to give it to me, and I wouldn't take it. I
Okay.
Put it back by her.
Okay.
But she told me that she's going to follow.
Do you think she's screaming? Who do you think she's screaming at right now? Like, we hear her in the next door. Way too many photos on the wall in this house. Could I say that as well? I'm not trying to judge the inner decor of an individual's living, quarters. Do as you wish. But I feel like I'm in a Cracker Barrel, okay? The wall is full of imagery. Too much, I would say. There's 35 fucking hanging portraits right here.
Federal charges on me for opening her mail, and that I'm the reason.
I love it. Oh, I can respect it. It's like a grandma living space,
She's getting addicted.
Yeah.
Can I turn on subtitles? Because I feel like I can barely hear this woman, and then when the other lady starts screaming, I'm not going to know what she's saying.
But she told me that she's going to file federal charges on me for opening her mail, and that I'm the reason she's getting addicted.
Yeah.
This is the third time that the law's come today.
Yeah.
And the guys,
I was here earlier.
Oh, were you?
Mhm.
I know that one of them said that if she does it again, they're going to take her.
Yeah. See what we could do here.
I love that. Not a regular knock. Dum, 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 to just keep banging on it until she opens the door.
Hey, come to the door.
I have somebody broke a cell on my goddamn government phone and I am pissed.
What's the matter this
I will press charges. This goddamn woman right here. I want to press charges on her on my government goddamn phone.
What happened?
She broke the cell. It's got 17 president seals. Press charges on her now.
You have the phone?
No!
Looks like you do.
I want this replaced. See this? See this? It's a goddamn
The phone's unopened. How does she know it's broken? It still has the fucking plastic seal on it.
government phone.
The seal hasn't been broken. It's still,
It's got codes. Now shut up.
it's intact.
You see this truck? You see this paw print? Thumb, 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 thumb. You see this thumb? See this thumb? You see this thumb? See this thumb?
Hold on, let me go get my black light. Do you see all this? There's like ectoplasm all over this package. I think I need to press charges.
You see these numbers? You see this name and numbers? You see name and numbers for the security? My name is Sonia, 5 letters. It's switch. phone free. And then you can click on that, you click on this, you click on my
What is she saying? I can't understand her.
You're done.
And there's subtitles. You click like this, you click on the goddamn mothering car, you're done. Letters switch on the phone, pretty, and then you click on, the fuck is she talking about?
Yep, you're under arrest.
No, I'm not!
Yeah, you are.
Now who opened my phone shit?
I would say that you would have grounds to press charges if they continued to open the phone. Can we agree on that? I think this would be a reasonable crash out if, like, she opened the phone. Like, if you get somebody else's mail, you open the package, you go, this is an iPhone, I didn't order an iPhone, and then you put it back, fine. But if they go, oh, an iPhone, and then they fucking start setting it up, you know, like, then I'd get it. If it was like, you fucking open the box, you open the iPhone, you're like, this isn't mine, free iPhone, and then you just fucking start going through the steps. No, I don't want to set up Siri right now. No, do later. Oh, yeah, no, I will sign up for this different screen color. Ooh, I got to choose a wallpaper. Not like that, then I would get it.
Open my phone shit. I threw in the hallway. What, candy?
Got it.
That's a government phone. And somebody.
Why does she keep saying that's the government's phone? Because the government's providing her a phone or something? Hold up.
Opened my mail in a hotel. They broke their cell on theft. Now I want Helen arrested too. We're both going handcuffs. Get Helen too. We're going together as twins. Get Helen. Let me pick up my trash.
No.
Get Helen.
No. Quit yelling at me.
Dude, she's like the worst neighbor ever. Like, what would be worse? Actually having a crackhead as like a neighbor. Even then, I honestly, like, they would probably bother you less. Like, she's a Karen. Like, she doesn't leave you alone. She's just like pestering you.
I've had enough.
No, Helen's going with me. She broke the seal. Give me the seal in my mouth. Give me the seal in my mouth and my license.
We're gonna leave it there.
No, you're not.
Did they just say put the cell phone? She said put the cell phone in her mouth.
You're locking my door. Give me my goddamn license and my purse.
Where's your keys?
You're giving me my license and my purse.
Wait.
You're locking the door, giving me my license and my purse, and you're taking Helen with me in cuffs. No!
Where's your keys at, Sonya? So we can lock.
Give me my goddamn purse on my neck.
I'm so surprised that the cops are just like very monotone right now. Do you think they've interacted with this woman multiple times? Like, they just don't care that she's crashing out.
An idea of my crack? And you're arresting Helen for breaking a cell. She broke the law.
You took the keys up on the fridge, or was that just them?
They're always on the hook every goddamn time. To the nasty banana. You never get back here. That's on the banana.
Oh my God. See, no, this gives me anxiety. Like, just the amount of stuff that's just like laying around. Holy shit, dude. There's just boxes everywhere.
That's on the banana. Catch your dick at the banana.
There they are.
Put it on my hair.
Catch your dick at the banana? Huh?
At the banana.
There they are.
Put it on my hair.
I hope so.
Get the goddamn envelope that was opened illegally.
Back up.
Get the goddamn that did it. Right now. Right, mother. Now with me.
Alright, your apartment's locked, okay?
Like, does she really think that if this went to court, a jury would go, yeah, let's convict the woman that opened an Amazon package, instantly saw it wasn't hers, and then returned it? Like, what? And like an old woman at that. Just like her aide gives her the package.
Get the goddamn.
They'd be like, yeah, no, you're definitely in the right here. You're definitely in the right here. We need to get rid of this woman right now. We can't have people opening others' packages at all.
You did it.
Let's go.
On a government phone.
You keep saying a government phone, like that makes it a bigger deal.
Right here that kicked me out of the haunted hotel. You see that goddamn?
You can walk.
She f***ing did it. You kicked in the goddamn nuts, you fucking love.
What counts as a threat to a police officer? Like the most dangerous storage unit finds.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we're looking into the odd and disgusting world of storage units. Is stuff starting to pile up in your house? Are you running out of room? Are friends and family starting to make weird comments about your life choices? Fear not, friend.
Just throw it all in the storage unit. That's why you knew, bro. Storage hunters. You remember those shows? Storage Wars. American Pickers, all of those were like fake ass shows. I'm so sure of it. Maybe the storage units were real, but dime a dozen. You know, like not like it's one in a needle in a haystack. You're getting a good storage unit. Most storage auctions are selling like, you got to think, bro. Like, what is the average shit people are putting in storage units? Holiday decorations, mattresses, family memorabilia, and shit, like trash, almost. Basically trash. Stuff that's meaningful to an individual, but worth nothing. So whenever I saw those fucking videos where it'd be like, yep, just bought this storage unit for $1,400. Oh my God, look, he has antique rifles in perfect condition that are worth $140,000. Who the puts that in a storage unit? Why would you have that? Oh, he has a katana collection. What? What are you are you going through like the coolest people ever? What do you mean? If that's the stuff they're putting into storage, I want to know what they actually own. Like, are you going through like Jeff Bezos's abandoned storage unit where he has like a block of gold just sitting in the corner? Like, who the fuck has that? No one has that shit. Some cool ass stuff. Yeah, that, and then they just never find anything that's, dude. There was one show, or like one episode where they actually went through shit, and I was like, wow, this is interesting, because it was all trash. It was just garbage.
There is a simple solution that may only cost you roughly $20 a month, allowing you to relocate your hoard of filth elsewhere. So first off, love Storage Wars. Fake TV show, love it. Love Storage Wars. But then I've been seeing all kinds.
Yo, I feel like these guys, wait, go back to store. I used to watch Storage Wars every day. This guy, these two, terrible couple. I wonder if they're still, I think it was for the show. Obviously, I think it was staged, but they would always bicker. They hated each other. I never understood how they weren't divorced. I'm going to say that right now. I'm not trying to like judge the relationship or anything, but like on the show, they would just fucking scream at each other. It'd be like, all right, don't bid on that, honey. And he'd be like, yep, another, yep, okay, yep, we're buying that one. After his wife literally told him not to get it. Just like direct oppositions. This is the favorite character, though. Favorite character right here. The old guy, don't remember his name. This guy was a douchebag, Dave. I always wanted Dave to get upbid on something and then fucking make no money. And I hated the show too because it was like, not only was the shit they were getting like fake, it was like they just knew the price of shit off the top of their head. Like Dave would walk in, he'd be like, broken Turtle Beach headset, $20. Candle warmer, $15. Oh, ladder, $183. You throw it to the side. I'm like, yo, you have to sell that to someone. Like, not only are you buying the storage unit, like, who are you? And then one day they showed Dave's actual shop, and it was just full of shit. It was like shelves, like floor to ceiling, of just like random technology parts and stuff he got at a storage unit. I'm like, who's coming to this store? I just go to Best Buy. If I'm looking for a fucking iPhone charger, I'm not going to go to Dave Hester's auction site and go buy a fucking used Amazon cord that he got from a dead guy that didn't pay off his fucking storage unit.
TV show, love it. Love Storage Wars. But then I've been seeing all kinds of videos online of verticals of people like, they find tons of money. It's all fake.
Get the fuck out of here! If I found that, I'd think that there's a drug dealer that used to own that shit. You found a wad of 10 grand?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I bet you there are storage units where people find some crazy shit. But I want to know, what's some real?
Nah, surely. Drugs. That's what you're finding, bro. I could see a world where, like, a storage unit gets foreclosed on, you buy it, and there's just, like, 5 kilos of cocaine that you find. Like, or a grenade. Bomb. Unregistered weapons. That's probably really common. Finding guns. Like, weapons, knives, stuff like that. But not of value. It's just, like, okay, this is like doesn't even have like the serial numbers fucking scratched off.
Crazy shit someone's found. I want some disgusting, depraved stuff, and that's what we're going to dive into today, all right? Storage units are a great solution for those with too many possessions. The services range from small rooms to large garages, and these labyrinths are found worldwide and hold all sorts of strange items. However, these large steel buildings are not as safe as you may think. From burglaries to insane tenants and even murder, storage facilities are the Wild West of urban cities with chaos hiding
Yeah, dude, there actually probably are people that sleep in storage units.
behind every turn. So, grab your padlocks and steel boots as we get ready to lift the door on the strange ongoings of storage units. I lived in a storage unit for 2 months.
What's the weirdest thing? Bodies. There was probably somebody that bought a storage unit and there was like a human head. Something like remains of an animal, dead stuff, rotting shit. Like what else is like disturbing or dangerous? Bombs, acid, just fucking weird murder, sex dungeon shit. Yeah.
If you've ever watched shows like Storage Wars, which was one of the most popular shows of the 2010s, it goes without saying that there are all sorts of crazy things to be discovered in storage units. Storage Wars followed a competitive group of
Yeah, and bro, they would always be in some fuck-ass town. They were never in, like, Miami, dude. They'd be in, like, rural Nebraska. Yeah, today we got a good find here. We got a few units we're going to be putting up for bid. A few units we're putting up for bid in Nebraska. What do they have?
buyers traveling from auction to auction, trying to see who could make the most money with the units they purchase, right? $500, sold to the guy for $500. Now I need to make $500 plus more money for profit. That's the show. That's every episode. And there's some bickering here and there. It's trash television. It's also all completely fake. It doesn't matter. Still,
bro, really? Now that upsets me. I wanted at least part of it. I knew it was fake, but like you kind of want part of it to be real. It's like when you're a kid and you find out the WWE is staged. And you defend it for a while, you're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Randy Orton actually fucks people up. And then you do know it's fake, but you kind of believe it. That's where I was with Storage Wars. Where it's like, yeah, no, I know it's fake, but it's like, dude, they're still throwing haymakers on each other. Like, they're getting hurt. They're getting hurt. Former Storage Wars star files lawsuit claiming show is fake. What lawsuit is he filing? Because he was a part of the show. Like, I don't understand.
Over the years, some of the people on the show have found insane things like rare art collections and priceless vehicles. And although this might look impressive, they pale in comparison to some of the stuff we are going to see.
Yeah, he would always find some crazy shit. He'd be like, this is worth a ton. Look at this. Pulls out a picture of a German Shepherd. Guess who painted this? His son's like, who? The Adolf Hitler. It's an original. Really? A random storage unit in fucking Tennessee had a painting from Adolf Hitler.
And although this might look impressive, they pale in comparison to some of the stuff we are going to talk about today. Starting in 2018, a man who bought a unit for $500 and was so excited about what he found that he approached Storage Wars auctioneers Dan Dotson to spread the word. Inside the unit was a lock safe and took multiple attempts and 2 different locksmiths before the code was finally cracked. When they opened the safe, they were greeted with $7.5 million in cold, hard cash. I'd come. I'm not even joking. I would be leaking. I'd be oozing the honey. The maple is going down the tree. You know what I mean? It would be a beehive in my pants, is what I'm saying. Sticky. News of the discovery made it back to the original owners of the unit, realizing their money had just been sold for less than 1% of its worth. They contacted the buyer with a lawyer, offering $600,000 for the unit and the money. No. After intense back and forth, both parties settled on a reward of $1.2 million, and the owner received their money back in full. You still got $1 million out of it, but I would have been like, I'm not fucking giving you shit. That's also
okay. Well, what dumbass would also not pay their storage? See, this is what I'm saying. You have $7.5 million of cash in a storage unit. You had to have robbed a bank. Like you robbed the New York City Central Bank and fucking stole $7 million in cash because a regular bank has like 10 grand on hand at a time, maybe 50 tops. Like, what the fuck? Like, how are you not paying the $100 a month for the storage unit?
You lie and say, I found $3 million in a deal. I'm not going to tell people about the other $4.5 million. Come on.
So wait, also, is this the
I'm cutting the fucking cameras. I'm telling the show to fuck off. What? If I'm Dave from Storage Wars and I find 7.5 million in a safe, I'm giving the producers 3 million and I'm going, fuck off.
Many believe that the cash was unmarked and was being held in a locker to avoid the law. Storage lockers are typically used for non-perishable items, and while some are climate controlled, it's never a good idea to store food inside. During a routine lock check, a manager began to smell a funky, sweet smell emanating from a nearby locker. When they opened the door, they found 4 large 55-gallon drums. They slowly opened the—
I'm immediately assuming there's a dead body in there. 4 55-gallon drums. 55-gallon drums of lube. Doubt it's lube.
the barrels and found that inside the unit was over 200 gallons of maple syrup.
That's not that bad. Maple syrup. Why do they have that? What a fucking shock that would be. You buy the unit, there's just fucking literally hundreds of dollars of maple syrup. It's authentic. It's from Vermont.
Relieved that it wasn't anything serious, they contacted—
Yeah, did they ever plan on using it? Do they like show up to the storage unit once in a while and like fill up their syrup bottles?
the owner and asked why they were storing so much liquid inside the facility. The owner said nothing. The manager didn't remove—
Pleads the fifth. Okay, that would sketch me the fuck out. Hey man, just wondering why you have like 4 55 gallon drums of syrup.
Move the syrup, but
hangs up.
Did notice that bugs and other vermin were starting to hoard around the locker.
I think they stole the syrup. I think it was a little syrup thief.
So you think that these are people that like they went to the Aunt Jemima factory?
Yeah.
Does syrup go bad?
I don't think it does.
I think about it. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen bad syrup. Editor note: can syrup go bad?
Yeah. No, syrup could go bad, and I think I've had expired syrup before at like an Airbnb. Do you guys use the condiments they have at Airbnbs? I do. But I'm always worried. I always get worried, bro. I'm going to go to an Airbnb and use their shampoo, and the person before would have put Nair in it, and then I'll just see my hair just like falling into the fucking— Dude, that's such an unrealistic fear, but I mean, that could definitely happen. Like somebody puts Nair in the fucking soap that they give you at like an Airbnb, and I'm using it, and then my hair just starts fucking falling out of my head. Some shit like that. I used the syrup, though, and I remember one tasted weird one time, and I looked at it, and it was like 2 years expired. No, but it could get moldy. Yeah, I guess that— Oh, God, was it moldy? No, it just tasted weird.
A lot of storage facilities act as graveyards for deceased people's stuff. Once the person is gone, their belongings can sit there for years until the container is auctioned off along with the stuff inside. One of the most common finds is war memorabilia left behind by veterans. Usually it's old medals, uniforms, and guns, but on rare occasions, it leads to live arsenals being discovered, aka they have like a fucking bomb. Out in Rockwell, Texas, bomb squads were called to a storage space containing what they were told were live military-grade munitions. When they—
Yo, that is literally a missile shell.
Arrived, they were greeted with boxes of hand grenades, old ammo, and even live tank rounds. That guy's just like, I want to take them. My business is not done. After safely removing all the explosives, they were taken to a nearby field and detonated. God, what a fun day.
They better let me go to that. You know, there was a controlled detonation in a nearby field. I feel like they'd have to invite the guy. If I'm the one that— do you think if you own the storage unit, the police would let you come with them to the field where they'd blow it up?
And detonated. God, what
have to.
A fun day. How sick would that be? Well, you got to use them. Look at your buddy. You're making money.
No, that's lame as hell. I'd be like, give me money. Give me $500 for the fucking rounds then.
Dreams come true. Oh, that's—
So did they get the watch?
Yeah. The people blowing them up?
Or I meant the people who bought the storage unit.
Oh, they better. I'd be like, yeah, this is fucking bullshit. You better let me blow. So I'd be like, you need to rent me.
Yeah, I would want them to give me the little presser thing where I go, boom, and it blows up like dynamite.
Tank so I can shoot this. I feel like you can rent tanks for not that much either. There's no—
What? It's only $600. You get to drive a tank. Oh, you get to crush a car. You pay $3 grand almost. You get 5-ton transport, 2 passengers. You get to drive all 3 of these things. Crush a car, 5 machine guns. Barrett 50 cal. Shop and equipment tour. Might as well fucking write that off. That's stupid.
Guns, like they're not, but you can drive them. That's a lot of places you can do. You can like run over cars with them and stuff.
Oh, but in a location, you can't just take it to your house.
No, it's a
okay.
No. No, the treads would tear up the road. The city would be very mad. It is unclear who the previous owner was and how they acquired such a dangerous collection. Investigators discovered the bombs while investigating the owner for a massive Ponzi scheme. While searching his locker in hopes of finding more evidence, investigators instead uncovered explosives. In total, police removed 60 PVC pipe bombs and over 400 cardboard explosives. Like a Home Depot terrorist. The owner, S. von Merchenthaler, was arrested and sentenced to 11 years in prison for illegal possession of explosive and weapons.
That guy was starting a revolution.
That guy was getting ready. I'm like, some bank just got spared because that motherfucker was going in. If you go digging through people's stuff, you were bound to find creepy items that they didn't want you to see in the light of day. In Florida, a former medical examiner's dirty secrets were aired out when he defaulted on his storage payments. Dr. Michael Birkland, a medical examiner based out of Pensacola from 1997 to 2003, was fired for not creating proper autopsy reports. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this does not sound good.
So he was stealing body parts or something? Oh my god. He was a guy that did autopsies, was taking like fingers and genitals and shit from people, storing them in a fucking locker.
My asshole immediately did. Following his departure,
the guy had no butthole when I found him.
Continued performing autopsies until 2007, when he stopped altogether. And in 2012, Michael's storage locker was auctioned off for $900 as he could no longer afford it. When the new owner started digging through the stuff, he found a stack of boxes in the back.
$900? Who the fuck would pay $900 for a random storage unit?
Corner and was disgusted by what he found. Inside were organs belonging to over 100 different people.
Were they like in a jar or some organs from 100 different people he just had in boxes? Was he like eating them? Were they rotting? Like, why was he taking organs from people?
Brains, lungs, livers, and hearts were all found in formaldehyde. That would be a smell alone. When you open that store, you would have to smell it. Formaldehyde is strong.
But it should be sealed, right?
Yeah, but I would still think of, 100? I would assume that you'd be like, it smells weird.
There would be boxes. It's not one small card, but you would have a whole corner of boxes full of just random organs and jars.
Which maybe all storage units have like a funk, but formaldehyde, I feel like you can smell that shit.
Why? What makes, like, I understand he does, like, autopsy shit. He might be, like, just into that for some reason. But what makes you want to just take, like, the brain of a random person?
I feel like it would emanate a little bit of scent.
Like a collection?
Even worse, the organs were stored in...
Oh, my God. They were in, like, food Tupperware bins?
Basic Tupperware and double gulp cups from local gas stations.
That definitely has a smell then.
Like he took the fucking lungs of somebody and just dumped out a fucking big Diet Coke. Just put it right in the fucking cup.
I thought they were in jars.
That wouldn't even seal it.
Oh my God.
How do you even obtain formaldehyde? I mean, dude, he was an autopsy doctor. Like, he probably just had access to that.
Not even glass jars, plastic Tupperware, and big gulp cups, dude. Fucking big gulp cups. Police quickly tracked down Dr. Birkland, and all of the organs were removed. He was charged with keeping a public nuisance, improper storage of hazardous waste, and driving with a suspended license.
Just threw that on top.
Yeah, like, what's the charge there? Is it, like, stealing from a body? Because he's not killing people. No, it's not like Dexter. He's not killing people. They're dead. He's just taking their body parts. Like, you died, he's you know, doing a report on your body, and then he just takes your lungs.
We gotta make sure we get this motherfucker. 10 families were notified of their deceased loved ones being found in the locker. Michael never faced any jail time. How? Because he posted his $10,000 bond and walked away. Posted $10,000 bond, but was unable to afford the storage. I'm telling you. Every one of these
he just wanted to get rid of that shit.
Just a little suspicious, isn't it? To be fair, if he's putting the brains and organs in big gulp containers, I don't think he really gives a fuck that much. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Threw it in there.
I want to know why he did it. Do you think it's just trophies?
Probably. If you're...
It was probably like weird oddities of things from people that died that he wanted, and then it became like kind of like a habit. You know, maybe a superstition. Like when he's on the job, he has to take like a fucking trophy or something bad will happen.
Doing the autopsy stuff, you have to have a fascination with the human body in some way where you're maybe they're probably like prize organs. That's the most beautiful liver I've ever seen.
How do you take the brain out of a person without them noticing? That's what I don't understand. If you're an autopsy doctor, how the fuck are you drilling into somebody's skull, taking their brain out, putting it back without anybody noticing? Like, because wouldn't the person at the morgue be like, yo, this guy's head is fucked up?
I thought he was going to do something much more diabolical.
I thought he was fucking dead bodies. Because
Oh, I didn't think he was fucking dead bodies. I feel like it might have been like an organ harvesting business, you know? Guy's dead. You kind of just, you know, take the lungs out. Give them to a black market dealer.
But Dr. Brooklyn wasn't the only one misusing a storage unit. While his story may have been the most grotesque, others have turned the spaces into makeshift homes. The price of rent has become nearly unaffordable across the United States, causing people to look for cheaper places to live. Besides,
is it illegal to stay in a storage unit? It's probably not allowed to sleep in it.
Being outright homeless, many have chosen to move into storage units. Certain storage facilities offer climate.
That actually looks sick. I would sleep there. Got a whole ass living room, bed. Got a bit of a kitchen going on.
Facilities offer climate-controlled units, plug-ins, and public bathrooms, covering all the basic essentials one would need in basically an apartment. With the average size of a container being 10 feet by 10 feet, that is more than enough room to fit a single bed and a small kitchen. Plus, storage facilities cover the cost of the utilities, so really saving some money. Granted, you're in a rat cage, but still, out of the rain. So long as you can afford the cheap monthly payment, you can live well within your means.
Yeah, oh, you got to keep quiet during business hours? What, because you're just... What would they do, though? Just kick you out?
Well, within your means. And one woman chose to move into a storage locker after her rent was raised from $850 to $1,300 because the building had to be rebuilt after a tornado leveled it. Which I want to say, that's unfair. That's a huge jump, too. My God. $800 to $1,300? Holy fuck.
That was just an excuse to raise rent.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we had to do a new one. I have to do it. It's like, fuck you, dude. Yeah, right. In 2021, Mayfield, Kentucky was hit by a massive tornado that left most of the town in ruin. Angie paid her rent by driving for Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Lyft, and was barely making her rent. But after the tornado destroyed her building, it was sold to new owners who raised the rent to $1,300 a month to help pay for the renovations. Tired of living in a one-bedroom apartment with a collapsed roof, she decided enough was enough and packed up all of her things and lived in her car. Since her car was crammed with stuff, she couldn't do ride sharing anymore, so she decided to rent a storage unit. At the time, she also began dumpster diving for Nike.
I don't know. I get the liability aspect of you're like, okay, you can't stay in this fucking storage unit, but how do you prove that somebody's living in there? Because I could just be like, oh, no, I just got to move stuff in and out, man. Like, it's your storage unit. Like, I would be like, oh, no, this is just a bed, man. I'm not sleeping here. This is just like a little hangout spot for when I'm, like, moving my stuff around. Yeah, catch them sleeping. It would be at night. If they're, like, there at night and they're not moving stuff in and out. I feel like you can't really hide the fact that you're living in a storage unit. If your car's always parked in the lot outside of it and you're just always there, like, people would be like, dude, you're sleeping here.
The dumpster diving thing, good way to make quick cash, especially if they're nice shoes. Why the fuck not? So she upgraded to a larger unit to store her inventory after discovering it had a power outlet. She brought in items like a fan and lamps and eventually decided to stop sleeping in her car and live in her locker full time. Angie was able to live in the facility for quite a while, living off her Uber and Grubhub money.
Yeah, I get her being able to live in here for a while, but like, why is everything just fucking jumbled around, bro? Like, there's literally no organization. This feels like a trash storage unit. Like, there's just a microwave on the ground. There's not even a power outlet. Where are you gonna fucking run that? How do you have power? Do they get like a fucking just like a generator? They don't have fucking outlets at storage units. It's just a metal fucking building.
Stop sleeping in her car and live in her locker full time. Angie was able to live in the facility for quite a while, living off her Uber and Grubhub money. However,
why would there be an outlet at there's a single power outlet? Why would there be an outlet at a storage unit though?
She was eventually evicted because she was found storing her stuff in units she didn't pay for. All right, Angie. Angie was she was rolling hot. She was like a Scorsese like protagonist in a movie, and then that's the thing that flew too close to the sun. To make things worse, she lost her Uber and Lyft license because of a DUI from 34 years ago. And
what? You get fired from Uber because you had a DUI 34 years ago? I get if you had a DUI recently, you shouldn't be able to work at Uber Eats or Grubhub, but like, I feel like if you're in your 50s and you got a DUI when you were like 18, I feel like you should be able to like do delivery service. Maybe I would maybe get it if it's like Uber. If you ever have a DUI on your record, you can't Uber people. But like, why can't you deliver food? That happened to my dad. I feel like that's crazy. You're not allowed to deliver fucking somebody's KFC because you had a DUI 30 years ago?
Things worse, she lost her Uber and Lyft license because of a DUI from 34 years ago and has since moved to a different, cheaper storage facility where she lives now. I want to say that's fucking bullshit. 34 years ago I had a DUI and Uber gets me for that? Word? How about you fucking forgive and forget, dude?
The one thing that I've been seeing, yeah, dude, actually, that's what I agree with that. Like, I don't think you should be fired for that. I was gonna say the weirdest thing about, like, Uber with, like, recent economy is, like, the self-employed work makes it seem like the country's more employed than it is. Because so many people do Uber Eats and, like, Uber and all that shit on the side, but the majority of that isn't, like, you're not getting, like, full-time wage pay. You know, like a lot of people that are unemployed that don't do a 9-to-5 do Uber Eats to make money on the side so they could like afford, you know, to live while they're searching for a new job. But you're like, you're not unemployed, but you kind of are employed per Atrioc. Atrioc talks about that stuff a lot. I don't know if he said specifically what I've said, but yeah, with Ubering in general, it's like it skews the numbers. But yeah, he's not a fan of, I don't know if he's not a fan of Uber. But he's talked about how, like, part-time wage work is pretty bad. It's good for, like, stimulating economic growth for people that need side hustles. But it's like, most people that do Uber Eats are just doing it to get by or get extra money for a specific thing. So it doesn't really count. It counts as you being employed, but you're not really employed.
People must have complained that they maybe smelled alcohol on her.
She keeps putting stuff in my storage locker, and I think she's drunk. What if it was that? On TikTok, a couple went mega viral for showing off their elaborate home inside a storage locker. Leyland Brown and his partner run multiple social media accounts under the name Fullest Nest and have gone viral because
we're getting evicted. I mean, yeah, you can't really post. Like, if you're trying to secretly live in a storage locker, you can't really post about how you live in a storage locker.
social media accounts under the name Fullest Nest and have gone viral because of a video showing off their storage unit. Hidden behind a wall of boxes was a full-blown apartment, complete with a couch, dressers, and a small kitchen. Leyland claimed he could run through the halls for exercise, use the bathroom whenever he wanted, and play loud music without disturbing anyone. This video would not only build his online following, but also get him kicked out once the property manager saw the video. Following the move out, Brown and his partner had been living in the woods inside a tent and getting continually evicted because he would—
Living in the woods? Yo, I would go rent another storage unit. What? I feel like this same day, bro, you could go a town over and rent another. If I needed like actual time, I'm not gonna go fucking live in the woods.
Buddy, give up the social media thing. That or lie about your location, holy shit. Today, the couple lives permanently inside a hotel room and uses generous donations to help them stay out of storage lockers.
In a hotel room? Wouldn't that be more expensive than, like, maybe a motel, but wouldn't living in a hotel room be more expensive than living in a, like, apartment? Dude, because a hotel room's like $100 a day. More. What hotel room are you staying in that's cheaper than an apartment? Yeah, like a GTA 5 motel? Well, no, there's motels that you can rent for months. Yeah, like an extended stay motel. But that's it.
Numerous instances of people living inside of these facilities, it is actually against the law to do so. Some places have input extreme measures to ensure that—
Is there a lot of people living in motels in America? Yeah. If you ever drive past a motel, I would say most people that you see on the outside are living there. Not like permanently, but they've been there for a month. It's usually like an in-between spot. If they're trying to find like an actual apartment, but nothing's cheap enough, or like they can't get a duplex or Section 8 housing, they usually stay in a motel. Midwest hotels are actually really cheap. Hundreds of thousands of people in the U.S. live in motels long-term due to poverty or housing inability or instability. I don't know. Anytime I pass a motel, dude, you could see like bikes and stuff on the outside. Like, people are like long-term there. It's not just like a casual stay.
Managers are trained to identify suspicious activity and contact the police as soon as they suspect someone is living inside a unit. Additionally, more security guards are being hired to patrol, making it increasingly difficult to stay overnight. New locations are being built to be more hostile inside, with no restrooms on the property, no electricity or temperature control, and even poor circulation to prevent air from circulating. Excessive. Someone's just like, I want to rent this unit, I'm going to stay inside. I'm storing myself. What's the big fucking deal?
It's a violation. It's a code violation. Also, you're not paying enough rent to live there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, do you think they're just like, well, you just give me somebody using the bathroom?
Yeah, they'd let you live there if they could, under the table, get $1,000 a month from you.
You have to sign a waiver being like, if you die from a heat stroke in here because the AC sucks, you're in a storage unit. Okay, you can't sue me. You need to realize this is a storage unit, so they don't come to me and be like, it's too hot in here. Is it? You know what I mean? That's fair to me. Like any business, you're going to encounter weird customers, and storage centers are no exception. For some reason, the halls of metal doors and concrete flooring really get people hot and horny. Numerous cases of people getting caught having sex have been reported, and what is even more strange is that 90% of them are cheaters trying to find a hidden place to elope. I'm gonna treat
Oh my God, they're trying to cheat on their husband or wife, but they don't know where to fuck, so they just go to a storage unit and meet up with a random guy or girl. The Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together. Our staff has discovered that a couple is using a leased indoor climate-controlled unit for regular afternoon delight. Winky face. Their arrangement appears to be an old-fashioned adultery. We're in a smaller town, best facility in our region. Bro, why don't they go to like a fucking motel? They're fucking in a storage unit.
getting caught having sex have been reported. And what is even more strange is that 90% of them are cheaters trying to find a hidden place to elope. I'm gonna treat my baby right. I'm taking her to the storage unit. It's hot in here.
Cause yeah, you could set up a bed. Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Easy. Jesus. God damn, dude, you need to calm your ass down. In Cleveland, Ohio, the chief of police was found cheating on his wife with another woman. Chief of police is so funny. Wes Snyder had served as police chief for a decade and was widely respected for his dedication to the city. Definitely respected by somebody. That all changed when workers at the storage facility noticed that he and Sharon Marr, a city nonprofit employee, were entering a unit together for 6.
Bro, why don't they just get a divorce? Like, why are you, if you're going through the lengths of like fucking a random woman in a heat-controlled storage unit, why are you with your wife? What a way to destroy your career. Bro, literally, just get a fucking divorce. Why are you, do you love your wife? How do you love your wife enough to stay with her, but don't love her enough to the effect that you're going to now rent a storage unit for the purpose of having sex with women?
When the staff opened the doors, they found the couple having sex in a makeshift sex dungeon. The dirty deed took place on a rug with pillows and blankets. Other things like alcohol, baby wipes, paper towels, and hairbrush were found inside. God damn.
It's very depressing.
It's a very...
This is where they're fucking, dude. Oh my God. Not even gonna get like, bro, you could at least get like a cot. This looks like a fucking shit pillow and something you found on the side of the street, dude. This is like beach lounger pillows.
It's a very depressing locker. If you're the chief of police, can you not, can you not get a bed? Get a hotel.
Yeah, splurge a little bit, dude.
Hell, dude. God damn. A sex dungeon, too. I mean, it really is. It's just a thing where it's just like, this is our fuck shack. I call this the raccoon trap.
Yeah, and do you think they leave right after? Like, they meet up, maybe go to dinner or whatever, go back to the storage unit. Yo, you want to go back to the unit? Take you back to the unit. Unit 108. It's our spot. Let me light a candle real quick. Mahogany. I actually got it from Yankee Candle. You know, this is the first time I'm lighting it just for you. And when they have sex and then they leave. Like, you know how awkward that would be? Do you think they sleep there? No, because he has to go home. So they go to the storage unit, have sex, and